Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fable Table, an actual play live stream focused on critical world building, collaborative storytelling, and finding the fun in games. I'm your host, Nick Bowen. Joining me today are my friends Brian, John, Andy, and Shannon, who have new nameplates for this particular scene that show their character names. How are you all doing today?
Hey,
Awesome. How are you?
doing good. Oh, you know.
You say that every time, John. Every time.
Oh, you know.
In all fairness, whenever you ask us how we're doing, we're always like good. And John's like, we all say the same thing.
Yeah.
That's true.
We're happy to be here playing Dungeon World, having a good time with friends.
Yes, we are.
Entertaining people in chat, hopefully.
Yeah, speaking of chat, I just want to, now that we are live, give like a huge shout out to Valid Opinion for gifting a bunch of subs on the stream. We are now affiliate on the channel, so folks can subscribe, get those little channel points, and I will be adding emotes as soon as Twitch will let me, which might not be for a while. There's apparently like a 60-day hold on my account for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, so today we're going to continue our season 1 of the show, Song of the Ravenlands, playing Dungeon World. Yeah, who wants to help us recap what happened last time?
Who hasn't recapped yet? Has everybody done
I've
it?
done it. You've done it. John, have
I
you
don't think
recapped?
I don't think I did a real recap. We played a stupid fucking game and that immediately like 180'd on me. Guys,
enjoyed it.
we intimidated a bunch of pygmies in their stupid hole. We found a dead ghost who we spoke to, who gave Basil a shield. Basil's our cool ranger guy, by the way.
I gave
then
the shield
we
to
went up a
Chives.
hill, and then we gambled for the soul/slavery of a Raven sister who now will heal my village or else. And boom, we're done. GG.
I love
Now
that
we're
the
going
music
home.
transitioned to a much more like happy and lighthearted tone right at the end of that.
Hooray!
Yeah, that's not a bad. We'll just go with that. Yeah, great job, John. Andy, I think you're gonna be up next time since you were the only one that didn't claim to have done it.
All right, I'll take notes today.
Sounds good.
In
Okay.
addition to doodling. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to
Yeah.
interrupt.
So, let's jump right into game then. Oh my God, more subs! Thank you so much, Shannon.
Shit.
That's Shannon.
down.
That's gifting subs left and right. Oh my God,
Yeah,
I love
well.
you, Shannon.
I love you. I love this.
Thank you. We're gonna jump into it. So, you all, yes, you all were at Hattie's Hill, which I'll move us to that map here really quick and bring us there into game.
I thought we ran away.
Yeah, well, I'll just use it for set dressing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here, and of course Roll20 is not, or Streamlabs is not taking it. Let's go. There. Ooh, what about this one? Nope. Doesn't like that either.
So while Nick is fixing this, Andy, I have an idea for you.
There we go.
Bring it.
Instead of doing a spoken word recap, since you love doodling so much, you should do a recap that is just a picture. And see if everybody
make
can
handle.
figure out what it was.
Don't do it, Andy. It's not worth your time.
I'll consider it. I think that's
Okay.
a good idea.
You could
I'm
do
not
it-
going to guarantee. But I'll give it a shot.
As
We're
that
in game, guys.
conversation.
You could do a diorama a la Community.
Ooh, there we go.
As that conversation went on, I imagine like
Oh my
me
diorama.
speaking directly to Andy, and then on one of Andy's shoulders is Shannon. Yeah, that's a great idea. Do it. On the other
Yeah.
shoulder is like, John, don't do it. It's not worth your
It's
fucking
not
time.
worth your time.
I am a positive Pam.
And I
That's
love
true.
just sucking the fun out of everything. So, Nick,
Yeah. You're like
What
a
are we up
fun
to?
vampire.
Yes.
Right.
Great.
running down a hill?
Yes.
Are we-
So, You all recover the Raven sister Alelo from Hattie's Hill and her den of gambling demons. You head down the hill. The weird alterations to the environment. Bark ripped off of trees, leaves kind of bled into watercolor like effects on the ground. The animals appear to just be misshapen. It's all still there. Nothing has changed as you head down the hill into the forest. And as you emerge out of that blue kind of fungal haze at the bottom of the hill, you all are able to remove your face masks and breathe fresh air. Yes. And Alelo, as you pass by the mausoleum where you found Alelo's companions, Alelo begins to break down and cry.
If you remember, Nick, Alelo's companion should be sitting right outside the mausoleum.
That's
in the
right.
grass.
Didn't we bury them?
No,
we fed
we
them.
left
We just
them
dragged
out.
them out.
Left them for the world to reclaim them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Tibetan sky burial. I don't know if you know about those, but they are dope.
Yeah, so I think Alelo notices the bodies, begins to weep, pulls herself together after a minute or two, nods, and says, "This is the way of things. I am grateful for my life. Let us head out and be wary of Stranglevine." And so you all will emerge through the Shroud, which is this forest, and begin your journey towards the Hollows.
Mhm.
So on your journey, you all have an opportunity as you're traveling to ask questions of Alelo. This Raven sister who has lived for decades, traveling around the Ravenlands despite the Blood Mist. And there's been a lot of current events, so I invite each of you, if you have kind of one question, either specific or broad, that you'd like to ask Alelo about on the journey. We don't have to act out any scenes unless you want to, but I invite you to ask broad questions about the world.
Yeah, I think
How much do you want me to end this spell and stop reading your minds?
Oh, that's right. You have telepathy engaged with
I have
Alelo.
telepathy forever.
Oh my god.
Me and Olelo are one, Nick.
Yes, that's right.
I
You
hear
form a
your
telepathic
thoughts.
bond with a single person you touch, enabling you to converse with that person through your thoughts. You can only have one telepathic bond at a time. Oh my god. This is quite intrusive. I would ask that you allow my thoughts to remain their own.
I'll ask you to heal my village in exchange for that.
Well,
you're holding her hostage.
Yep.
This
That's
is all
what I
taking
was
place in his
asked to
head.
do.
You can't hear any of it. It's all in between their heads.
I really
Also, you owe us your life, quite literally. You will help my people.
this is true. You did win my servitude in the bet with Hattie. You could
Thanks.
compel me to if you wish,
Nah.
but this does not feel like a strong method to forge bonds between the Raven sisters and the Hollows.
I just want to annoy you so you'll help us. I'm not making you do anything.
I really should get back to my sisters, however, and let them know of what has transpired here. It seems as though the Rust brothers set almost a deliberate trap to entrap us.
You let us know, Nick, when any of this comes out that we can hear.
I mean, good point. Is this all happening telepathically, John?
Wah, 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 wah. Do you want me to do the hand on eyebrows thing?
Yes.
You see, John
You're
is
right.
giving us
It's like the orcs almost set you up or something.
I think Wick is giving us the one-sided telephone call where he's like saying all the call information out for us.
You know what? I think Alayla would respond to you verbally, even if
That's
you're
fine.
asking questions telepathically. I think they would like to let their dissent be known.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Heal my people. Wow, 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 wow. The orc set you up. Wow, 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 wow.
All right, so
Okay, I'm
I
done.
think this is a good opportunity for our first roll of the night, and I would like to have you roll parlay because I updated the language to be a lot more clear about this move.
Oh, did you?
Yes, the language has always confused me, and I found a much better writing of the rule. So,
Ooh.
when you have leverage on a
Okay.
GM character, manipulate them. You have leverage in that you are both annoying this character and literally can control them.
Yeah, but I don't. Right?
So, 7, partial success. They will do what you ask, but need some concrete assurance of your promise right now. So, some sort of assurance. So they say, very well, if your people are sick and they need healing, then I suppose updating my sisters can wait, but really, please, if you could
I
release
end the
me.
telepathy, so I can just. Oh, I thought we already freed her in the narrative, but yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I maybe that happens in this moment. You both let go of the telepathy
Oh,
and you
perfect.
you ask, you like,
She agreed. That's
yeah.
all I wanted. We're good.
Yes. Thank you very much. Okay. Any other questions for Alelo? I said we didn't have to act out scenes, but that was, I think, a good one.
I think, of course, jumping right into a scene, Merrick will say, I'm very sorry for the loss of your sisters. And you will be safe traveling with us.
Thank
But
you.
we have many a question because the Raven sisters have been gone for a long time. Can you answer something for us?
Of course. What better way to pass the time?
How are you able to travel through the blood mist when all of us traveling through it would lead to our certain death?
There are many theories among us, the Raven sisters, as to how we are able to, but most of us simply believe it is because it is a boon of Raven's blessings on us, part of the powers we are granted. But the Rust brothers are able to do it, and others as well. We're not sure how they do it.
Do you think the Rust brothers are given this boon but from Rust as well?
Perhaps it is very strange because both animals, unintelligent animals, as well as infants, are unaffected by the blood mist as well. Or should I say, weren't affected. I suppose with it gone, it doesn't really matter anymore, does it?
All information is worth something. Even if it's not relevant at the moment.
Fair. Well, if I had to guess, I would say that it is something within oneself that allows them safe passage. I have seen others who were not blessed by a god walk among the mists in moments of powerful emotion, inexplicable. The shadows within left them unmolested. A mother racing outside to grab her child who wandered out, or an elderly person simply walking out and nothing happening. There have been strange moments when others have been able to do this as well, and I don't quite understand how.
Do you think it has something to do with fear? Or perhaps the absence of fear? Maybe the mist draws upon your insecurities.
Yes, perhaps, but it has not been necessarily been fear. That has not been a common factor that I've witnessed. Both those with and without fear of it have managed to survive. It's something else. And the fact that within our own homes, we are safe from it. Whereas in caves, we wouldn't be. Doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe it's because you're homeless. All right, can we?
All right.
Damn.
Any other questions you want to ask about the world or?
Not to make you relive your trauma just now, but is there anything you can tell us about Mink and his ilk and what he was doing to that hilltop up there that might help us understand what was going on? Aside from just being powerful and into enslaving injured birds.
Yes. One moment while I find my notes. Addie. I heard her speak to her ilk, and she was very much interested in creating a haven for herself and other demons. And she wasn't particularly interested in slaves or control, but simply needed the help and had an opportunity. She got egged on by one of her companions to ask for my servitude. It hadn't even occurred to her. Just a suggestion. But she spoke of the land like she invested a great deal of energy into making it her own. And beyond that, I don't know what she wants. She seemed to just enjoy providing hospitality and presenting opportunities to others to exchange goods with risk. And every time the gambling would progress, she seemed to grow more powerful as a result. Almost like the entropy of it all was a source of power to her. I don't think she was even necessarily interested in winning. Simply playing.
That's some fucking chaos magic right there.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shannon, do you have a question for Alelo?
Not about her experience or what had happened on the hilltop, but so Cacophony is like single-minded at this point, and she's like, okay, I've been traveling with these dudes for ages, and I'm no closer to seeing Raven, and I was waiting at that village for a long time for you guys to show up, and you never did, and, you know, my personal quest has been delayed because of it, and I need to speak to Raven, and I need you to help me make that happen. So it's not so much a question as like how do I get this ball rolling? I'm sorry that you lost your sisters, but this is important to me.
Yeah. She looks very grim, even more grim than at the notion of her lost sisters. But when you mention Raven, she struggles. And after a minute of walking in silence and her kind of sullen looks, she responds, Raven has not been very responsive to us over the last many years. I can take you to him, but I am not sure what you will get out of that. He has been nothing like the stories ever told.
Okay.
And it is...
That will snap Merrick's head around. And he will turn and ask, is it a case of losing connection? or just not being present?
Raven has been like this for decades and decades throughout much of the Blood Mist. The entire time I have been a Raven sister, he has been like this. Pale, distant. I could count on one hand how many times I've seen Raven fly. It is.
Right.
It's very
Well-
difficult to be able to travel to villages, settlements, and heal those who are sick, but to be able to do nothing for my lord. Or
We'll figure it out then, because he needs to do something for me, and I will not take no for an answer. I don't care if he's my god. So,
you should speak with our leader, Aviana. She may have more insight.
okay, thank you.
I would be happy to take you to her.
Let's heal their village first.
Yes, after, looks at Wick, after the Hollows has been cleansed of its illness.
I love it when people keep their word.
Okay,
And we
so
walk.
Onward.
yes, we have one more leg of the journey to go. So I'm gonna need undertake a perilous journey one more time, because there are still a lot of Rust Brothers around.
Have we had a chance to do our level up from the?
Yes, let's do that first.
Okay.
We'll do that.
I only ask because it will affect how I do the perilous journey. So.
Sure. Yeah. So, one more time, or I'll link the level up move here for everyone and for our chat. So, level up. When you have downtime, hours or days, and XP equal to or greater than your current level plus 7, subtract your current level plus 7 XP. Increase your level by 1, choose a new advanced move for your class, and there's some wizard stuff, and then also increase one of your stats by 1. So for each of you, I can add those moves from the compendium. I can just drag and drop them right onto your sheet. Does anyone know what move they want to take or what stat they want to increase?
I think I can increase my own stat pretty easily, but I would like you to add first aid from the
Sure.
compendium to my sheet, please. And I'll be bumping my wisdom from a 16 to a 17.
Cool.
Oh.
All right.
I'm adding cheap shot to mine. But
Aha.
I already popped it in there.
Perfect. And what stat did you increase?
I'm waffling between like my con and my wisdom, because I'm book smarts, but I'm not street smarts. So so I'm debating, but probably wisdom, because it's like one of my lowest.
Okay. Feel free to update that when you decide.
Nick, I didn't realize we had a compendium. I think I can just add it on my own.
Oh,
Without a
okay.
problem.
I already dragged it onto yours.
Okay. I think we both have the sheet open, and that may be why it's not updating. Or Roll20 is crazy.
It's if you go to the main tab, it is on the bottom right.
Ah, that makes more sense. And now I see why it's there twice. Let's modify
What
and
did
get
you
rid of
get,
one.
Andy?
For my first level up, I can choose to not take a move, but instead take half Elven, which gives me both of the race attributes or starting moves associated with the ranger.
Oh, cool.
I started with the human one, which is when you make camp in a dungeon or city, you don't need to consume a ration. The elf one is when you undertake a perilous journey through wilderness. Whatever job you take, you succeed as if you rolled a 10 or higher.
Nice. Oh, that's really good.
So I'm taking that on after rolling 6s in the last 2 perilous journeys. So
Nice.
Oh, wow. That just means you're going to get less XP in the future. Nice.
well,
It's true.
But
not out here
Foolish mistakes.
farming level
I
ups
wanna-
just yet. So
smoother journeys, though.
I want to lead us so that our new ranger, who will never let us get ambushed again, stays on that. Because I really don't like getting ambushed by stupid vines, guys. That kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Okay. So undertake a perilous journey. Just go ahead and link that
I
one
have
more time.
I have one small question, Nick.
Yeah.
Because my level up affects the spells that I have, do I need to wait till the next time I commune to change all of that up, or am I doing that now?
I'm imagining that this level up is taking place when you all make camp the first night, once you get through the
Okay.
shroud, which is, you just beeline for the, you're not searching through the shroud, so it only takes a day to get out. So you all make camp on the edge of the shroud, and you're able to level up here and do your commune and reset your spells.
Okay, sounds good.
So, John, since you're also a level 1 wizard, you can also
Yes.
re-prepare your spells,
Oh, cool.
if you like.
We're done. I got it.
Cool.
Okay. I want to trailblaze. I want to schmoove.
All right, Wick is trailblazing.
I'll scout ahead.
I will happily still continue to do quartermaster if you wish, although I'll happily give it up if somebody wants it.
Okay.
All right, let's
Wisdom?
do those wisdom checks, please.
Interfere. No.
Uh,
Shannon, help me out.
oh,
Mine should be counted as a 10.
yes.
After the...
Yeah. Okay. So, keeping out watch goes better than expected. You all consume fewer rations. So I think that this journey. Oh my god, how long did it take the first length to get to Galler Hall? It was like
5 days or something.
yeah.
It was a 4-day journey that we fucked up on, so it took 5 rations.
Okay, everyone
Tower
consume.
Hall to the Hollows.
Everyone consume 3 rations, please.
Okay.
Cool.
And then for Wick, it's gonna take about as expected in terms of the journey. And then Basil, you are keeping an eye out for trouble. And you absolutely are on your game. And you quickly spot a little grove of trees. Is that the right word? A grove? Is that like a small cluster of trees?
A copse.
Copes.
A copse?
Copes.
Good one.
Copse. So you see
Like
a
you're
small
coping.
cluster of trees, a copse, at one point off in the distance, and you notice some movement along the tree line. And upon further examination, you see a party of Rust Brothers at the edge of a tree line moving in. And there appears to be a large beast inside the trees that is really hard to make out.
Do we see how many there are?
Uh,
Like a vague, like shadows in the trees, or is it like, is there like a solid number that we can?
you catch that there are 3 or 4 of them. You would probably guess 4, as they are moving into the tree line, but it's difficult to keep track of where they are as they move into the trees.
Does it look like the beast? I'm asking like a ton of questions. Does it look like the beast that they have is like something that was captured, or is it like
Is it
like
a
on their
frog?
side?
So you
Like
all
like a trained.
Yeah, so you all get the information I've provided with just this success on catching wind of stuff ahead of time. You can certainly do some stuff to move in closer and try and get more information. But Alelo is going to say, the Rust Brothers, if they see me, I'll be dead. There's no way I can take on 4 Rust Brothers.
But can they take on 5 adventurer?
Aha!
Ah. Now, like, are we like on a
So-
road here in the middle of broad daylight, or like have we already been spotted?
No, you have not
Or
been
we
spotted. They
We
are.
saw them ahead of being noticed.
Yes,
Okay.
you have the drop on them.
Oh.
Well, friends, do we use this to our advantage?
Yeah, I
And
gotta
then
go
make up
find
for
out where
those?
her sword is. I need to go talk with him.
Yeah, well, okay, so, Alelo, you can hide somewhere safe if you would like. We're gonna go and kill these guys, so.
Okay.
Can we? Is there no hope to trying to find out if they're nefarious at all?
Yeah, I mean, you all have the drop on them, so you can go gather more
Wow.
information. You could attack them. You could go talk to
I
them.
stare Basil in the eye and tell him that I can summon ghosts in case he has forgotten. Does it really matter?
I'm not sure where you're going with that. But
We
Yeah,
call
I
we
am.
interrogate the ghost. Let's go. We.
All right. So you're just marching on down to go
Biggest
talk to
reason.
them.
Seems like he's doing that.
Okay.
I think I will follow
Unless
him.
you guys want to go sneaky beaky, like I don't see why we're daddling
Yes.
about.
I kind of like the
Always
idea of
go
going
sneaky beaky.
beaky because we
Okay.
have an injured person in tow, and how many of our other confrontations have gone super well.
That's a good
as of yet.
question. I can help someone be less seen. Who wants to be less seen?
Oh boy.
Well, are we collectively trying to sneak around this area and just get by and keep moving, or are we trying to confront them?
That's what we need to decide before we move forward. I'm pretty sure if we have the drop on them, we can literally just go. And
I
leave
feel
them
like
be.
I can goad them quite splendidly.
If you want to help somebody keep hidden, my suggestion would be cacophony.
Yeah.
If they can't see her, that's more to our advantage. Especially if they think they have an advantage on us in numbers, they may act differently.
Aren't
We
you
can get the
already
drop
good
on
at
later.
sneaking, cacophony? Shouldn't Basil
I'm
or
exceptionally
Jai's
good
get it?
at sneaking.
Then maybe I don't help you. What
If
about
you want to
you?
keep somebody hidden, try to keep Alelo
A
hidden.
Lalo
She's-
hidden.
Yeah,
Chives,
she's
Chives and Basil are made for the forest. Like they can slip around. It's not a problem.
I stare at Merrick, the human guy. How dexterous are you? How sneaky beaky is Merrick?
Oh, not dexterous at all. But if you're the only one they see, I don't think there will be any intimidation. They're just going to come at you.
The double ambush, and then I cast invisibility on Merrick.
All right.
There we go.
Okay, just to be super clear about like some of our lore with Rust Brothers. Rust Brothers have a tendency to be hyper racist towards non-humans. They,
That's fine.
in particular, hate and try to kill at every opportunity Raven sisters. So Selkie, they are particularly suspicious of. But
That's why
okay,
they're not going to see me.
okay,
He's not going to be seen.
okay.
I'm gonna
I cast a
sneak
spell.
around the tree line and try to stay out of their sight and just generally kind of like listen in on whatever they're saying.
Okay.
I failed to cast a spell.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Well,
Oh boy.
Oh,
Are you trying to conceal?
am I invisible now? Can't see me, can you? Start dancing around Nick a little bit.
on Chica! I place my hands upon your body and say, "You cannot be seen." And then, without even checking to see if this is true, I turn around.
I'm ready for this, brother. And I will follow sneakily about 5 to 8 feet to Lick's left.
Okay,
Mary's
but
just over there doing the hammer dance. I love it.
okay. Yeah, so the magic just doesn't work. You're completely oblivious to that fact.
At one
I guess?
point, I will notice
right
that I
about
can still see Merrick and be like, maybe it's because I cast the spell that I can see him. This makes perfect sense, Merrick.
This is so much better than if you were actually invisible. I want you
And then,
to
like, the
continue
other
to
two are
act
just
as
like,
if you're invisible.
And then the other two are just off to
Basil-
the sides hiding, right?
Basil, in an effort to be nice to both of them, just plays along and is like, "Good cast, let's go."
I thought you guys were breaking off.
Okay.
Go flank.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going around. I'm gonna go see what
They'll
I can.
all be focused on me and only me.
Mhm.
This is the perfect double ambush.
What should I roll? Do I roll?
Okay, so sorry, I was doing some setup stuff.
You good.
For sure. Sorry.
What are you doing, Shannon?
So Cacophony is gonna go like sneak
Sneak
like
through the woods.
around the outside of the copse of trees to kind of like to listen in on like what they're saying and just like generally stay out of like eyesight, and like kind of come up around behind them. So if they're focused on Wick, then that'll give
Okay.
her the advantage if she wants to come in from behind.
Gotcha. Okay. I will let you know when I want you to make a roll.
it.
So you all approach the copse of trees, copse, and as you approach, you notice some things. First, you notice that there are two mount creatures parked on the poorly traveled road, which has a lot of overgrowth. One of which is a horse. The other appears to be a giant spider, which
I'm out.
it has a saddle. it is tied up to a tree branch or a log or something over here, and they appear to not even care about you all. But as you approach the copse, you all do see that there is in fact the giant toad demon that you saw before. They no longer have any eggs on their back. And one of their babies, of which there are now several smaller demons, there is one sort of like larger than the others. The one that got away from you all has grown up. And here you see the Rust brothers are standing, weapons drawn, focused on the demons. There are 4 of them with leather armors. A couple with metal helms, and this one here with the eye logo is channeling a spell, and the demons all appear to be like kind of trembling in place.
Is this distance accurate? Is Brother Spade just looking off in this direction for some reason and not notice people walking up?
They are. I mean, you all still have the drop on them, so I'm gonna honor that roll. They are keenly paying attention to the demon. Like their weapons are drawn, like ready to strike the demons, at the drop of a hat.
Cool.
No, they're unawares of you.
This is like a best case scenario. Let them kill the demons, and then we'll go kill that giant spider. I mean,
I was gonna say, actually, can Chives and I go over and untie these pack animals and just ride them out of here? Get our party on mounted and just fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with the spider. Cacophony is not.
We'll
okay.
ride the spider. Merrick and Chives and I can ride the spider.
This is harassment, and we need questions, not petty theft. This is Grand Theft Auto. The mounts. We can loot the mounts.
Grand Theft Mounts 3.
I think
Yeah,
that's a great idea, though.
I looked at the party, and I'm like, 5, 4, 3, question mark? Do you want to cast anything before we go in here, Merrick?
I do. Like,
You want to do
Dazzle?
that first?
Gentlemen, I really think we can just better use our time by getting these pack animals and just leaving.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why on my screen, Brother Spade has moved. I'm sorry. I did not understand what you were talking about. Let me refresh. Because I moved Brother Spade earlier, but he does not seem to have updated.
Okay, so...
Sorry.
Dazzle has asked the question, and I would like to respond.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Dazzle, these are brothers of Rust. They have hunted down the Raven sisters. They have stolen things from our hollows. They have an army of undead sitting not miles from our hometown. I would love to know what they're doing with this demon, but if we're engaging here, they are much more of a priority to me than their mounts. Stealing their mounts will piss them off. It'll bring them back to us anyways. We should deal with this here and now.
Your pride can take a break. We can deal with them when there's not also a demon in play.
They're trying to control it, man. Look at them. They're casting a weird ritual.
I'll look at the one casting a spell and be like, I know what spell he's casting. He is causing them to fear him. The moment that one goes down.
Well, I look at Cacophony. I stare at her for a brief second.
That's fair.
Cacophony.
Well, yeah. So no, that's a great call, Merrick, because as soon as that guy is down, that demon's gonna strike. So I think we should kill that soldier first, and then let the demon take care of the other two.
Yep, we're in a perfect position here.
And then we'll take their mounts. I'm with you all the way, Basil. Let's take their shit.
Should I do a called shot on this one guy?
I think we're all gonna bum rush and you call shot, and we just take him out real quick.
I would like to cast a spell and reach out towards Basil's bow.
All right, let me provide a little more information as you all stand here quietly, I assuming, discussing what to do next. A little bit more information about these folks. I have them all named. I'll just go ahead and use their names since we can see them. And I also have them marked to kind of articulate kind of what's different about each of them as well. So first thing you would notice, Brother Rook on the bottom here is this. Let me grab my description here. He is a heavily cloaked figure. You can't see his head, but at like catching him at different angles, you see that he is wearing a mask, has huge gloves on, and just has an absolutely monstrously large body frame. You hear him talking. You can't quite distinguish what he's saying at this range, but you're hearing clicking sounds every now and then when he speaks. He has an absolutely monstrously sized sword called a diclave. It is just bigger than you would be able to wield. Maybe even you, Wick. You might not be able to wield this sword because he is so large and the sword is so large.
I'm the physically weakest out of all of us. Of course I can.
So it's the mountain.
Yeah, it's basically the mountain, but he's like kind of covered up. The second one, or the next one up, Brother Spade, has 4 arms. One of them has a sword, one of them has a buckler, and one of them is holding a crossbow, and the other is free. Brother Midnight here, the third one from the top, you can't see very well, but he's just wearing a dark black cloak with like a rust-colored trim, and there are also very rusty bells hanging on it. So as he is like moving, doing his spell casting, you're hearing a faint like ringing of metalish bells. He is also holding a book that he appears to be kind of waving his hand over as he is casting this spell, which is causing all of these demons to just kind of shake in place. And then finally at the top is also a hooded figure, but you can see that it's padded like he's wearing armor. And his hood is down, so you can see that he has orange skin and dark black blots on his skin, almost like ironically, like a tree frog. They are holding a crossbow as well.
I say target the range, Cacophony, after we kill Brother Midnight, and then we'll just work our way to Rook.
Yep, agreed. I'll reach out. No, go ahead.
I feel like I have questions now, because like, are these dudes, are they even human? Are they?
We can ask when they're dead.
Are they even
Move
actually
us
Rust
on.
brothers? Did
Yeah.
you say that one brother has 4 arms?
Yeah,
Like-
so as a reminder, Rust Brothers are human, like exclusively human, and they are frequently misshapen in that they have like extra features or they are fused with demons. And that gives them very strange characteristics.
I see. Okay, so it's not like a bunch of other creatures got the jump on some or on some Rust Brothers and like took their gear, like
No,
a
this
la
is par on course.
Police Academy 3, right? It's not like they're not like sneaking around pretending to be Rust Brothers. Okay, so okay, yep. Let's kill the spellcaster first.
Yep.
Right.
Like the plan. I will reach out to Basil's bow, and I would like to cast a spell and cast Magic Weapon.
Okay.
Let's see if I have any other descriptions. Nope. I will just invoke some words and say, with the blessing of Worm, may your aim strike true. May I click and go?
Yeah, go for it. That is a 12. Nice. Go ahead and cast the spell.
All right, Magic Weapon coming in. For you, good sir, you will have a extra 1d4 damage on anything you hit with this weapon. And while this is going, I am going to be taking a -1 ongoing to cast other spells.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
You can drop that
Awesome.
concentration at any point.
Right, and there will be a point when I probably will in this fight. But to start out, I want you hitting harder.
Right on.
Okay.
Then I will nod towards Wick, be like, "I'm invisible. Let's get them now."
Let's go. We charge forward stealthily.
All right.
Or Basil shoots them and then we charge forward. I'm not sure of the timing here.
That'll be up to Basil.
I would
Because
say while I'm drawing back and taking aim, Chives moves up with you to be, right there at the front to be ready to fuck shit up as soon as the arrows land.
Yeah, everyone go ahead and
Um,
just move your tokens up. Oh boy.
Shika!
Should I go ahead and do called shot?
Yeah, go ahead and do called shot, and I will cue up some combat music.
All right,
Yeah, that's the wrong one. Come up here.
that's dexterity.
I'm gonna do cheap
Gimme.
shot on that guy.
Oh, no.
Rip.
The real question is, does he hit the frog demon?
So let me describe what happens here.
Yep.
Okay, so you let loose your arrow directly at Brother Midnight, who is completely facing the opposite as you, like, just dodges it at the last moment, like, just moves his head over and calls out, "We're being attacked," in a calm voice. Brother Spade, the 4-armed Rust brother, turns immediately to meet you, as does Brother Moncala.
Cool.
Brother,
But all of our stuff goes, right?
yeah, Brother Rook begins moving behind Brother Spade towards Brother Midnight. Okay. Brother Midnight just simply does not turn around to face you, Wick.
Oh, does that mean I automatically hit?
No, it does not, because Brother Rook is coming in to block the attack. And he is going to make a swing at you.
I don't... Wait a minute, I'm misunderstanding. So we all rush up,
Mm-hmm.
and then Basil fires.
Yes.
So does that just mean that, like, none of us get to do our thing before Rook just acts immediately and animates his way? to
Like they were
defend this
they were
guy?
getting into position to be right there when the arrow
Yeah, that was
landed.
like our signal to start,
Okay.
so it feels a little weird if these guys just
Okay.
teleport into position to
Okay.
defend their friend. We are clearly set up to ambush.
Right.
This is the benefit of our good scout. We snuck up on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was taking the failed roll as kind of like a slightly missed timing as well, but I can back up
Okay.
Rook and give you a free shot, Wick, if you think that is appropriate.
I do think that's appropriate, Nick. Thank you
Okay.
so much for your graciousness.
All right, so why don't you go ahead and roll damage?
I would love to roll damage and deal
Holy
10
shit.
damage.
Damn.
Okay, how much piercing do you have on that?
None.
Okay. Let me just get my notes out here to track their HP.
Let me know when you want Shannon and I to take our moves as well.
Okay. Midnight is down to... Okay, so you just cut into Midnight. Your spear just goes straight into his back. And he lets out just an awful groan. And he just lets out one word, Rook, I need you. Spade is raising a crossbow, a loaded crossbow at you, Merrick. And Mancala is rushing towards Wick. What do you do?
I would like to continue my attack. I was charging in, invisible, of course, to attack for the Midnight. He doesn't know I'm there.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Gotcha. Then,
No way.
Then Spade's crossbow is trained on Wick. Who are you
He's
attacking?
not actually
I'm not
invisible.
actually invisible.
Oh, that's
I
right.
think
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
invisible. The spell failed.
Okay, so he is targeting you,
So good.
which is
You can target me,
surprising.
That's fine. I mean, can I make my hack and slash attack going towards Brother Midnight?
Yes, you may.
Alright. And go. 9.
Oh, there it is. Okay. You go ahead and swing at Brother Midnight, and Brother Spade is going to let loose a bolt into you.
Oh man.
Okay.
Let me turn down my music here a little bit. It's a little loud. Spade is going to fire at you. Where's that die?
Should I deal damage while you're doing this?
Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage there. That is
5
5.
damage.
Okay. Oh boy, he rolled real low.
No, I didn't. I rolled a d6 for damage. I rolled real high.
No, a Spade's
Oh, you rolled real
arrow.
low.
Take 3 damage minus 1 armor. Or
Minus
I'm sorry.
1 armor?
What? How much
I
armor do you
two
have?
armor.
You
I
have 2.
have 2. I bought
Okay.
a shield.
So he has 1 piercing on his bolts.
Okay, so I'm taking 2 damage then?
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. And then Brother Midnight.
I
You
will
said-
yell out, he can see me while I'm invisible!
You attacked. It's all you become invisible once you attack.
Gotta tell me quick.
I'm
Uh,
sorry. I'm learning.
Brother Midnight drops down to a knee, but just relentlessly keeps casting his spell.
This dude sucks.
True.
Can I fire a volley at Goro or whatever his name is?
I believe we need to let Shannon finish her
Yeah.
action.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then
my
let
bad.
Nick
My bad, my
narrate.
bad.
No, dude, keep calling it out. If you don't call it out, we'll be missed.
Yeah.
So, there's
So-
no initiative. You call yourself out. It's all good.
Yeah, so Rook is
Yeah.
closing with Midnight to protect him. Mancala is coming in to attack Wick. What are you doing, Cacophony?
I want to see what my black iron railroad rod spike does, and
I
wanna throw
actually
it at
have that.
Rook. Oh, do you? You still have it?
You are
didn't
no
give it back to
longer
me,
in
you
possession of
frickin'
that.
Turd.
No, I'm not
Give me
giving
my
you that.
freaking spike back.
Nope. I want it
We
fair and
are
square.
gonna have words.
Oh, right, because
friend.
Wick won it during the gambling.
Yep,
Oof.
it's on my sheet.
It was on loan, and we both know that. All right, I'm gonna do.
Yeah, ask for it next time.
I'm gonna do cheap shot on the big fella,
Okay.
assuming he's still within my range.
Yeah. And you were, like, flying in, right?
Yeah.
So I think you could have, like, circled around and timed this perfectly to hit him in the back. So I'll just move you right here.
Shall I move my person?
Yeah, there you go.
Do I need to move her?
Yeah, go ahead and roll cheap shot as you just timed it perfectly. Like as he swiveled around, you just stayed behind him. He is still completely oblivious to you. Go ahead and cheap shot gives you an option. Why don't you go ahead and link cheap shot, and we'll read what your options are. Oh, okay. So this just means your backstab does extra damage. So why don't you link backstab? Okay, so when you attack a surprised or defenseless enemy with a melee weapon, you can choose to deal your damage or roll, and depending on your roll, you get bonuses. So, do you just want to take the damage, or do you want to roll for increased effect?
Roll for increased effect.
Okay. There is potential to fail then and not deal damage.
Damn it.
And I'm not going to take that 10 since we were just linking the ability.
You're the worst, but I accept. Yeah, what I mean, let it roll, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna try to deal more
That's
damage
part
if
of
I
the game.
can.
Oh, 8 doesn't hit?
No, because it wasn't a true roll. We were just linking the.
Right.
We were seeing what the
move.
ability was.
So,
Oh, so
so that's terrible, and we are not friends
Yeah.
anymore.
All
Nick.
right. Shannon, mark XP.
Yep.
wait, why are we re-rolling 3 times? She rolled an 8.
So
I confused.
cheap shot shouldn't have a roll on it because cheap shot is just an effect that increases damage of a different move.
That makes more sense.
And then I asked Shannon to link backstab so that we could read it, which gives Shannon the option to either deal damage as established, no roll, or choose to roll and get
Okay.
options based on the outcome. So she gets to choose none of these because she failed.
Okay.
Yep. I'm the worst.
Okay.
My spike.
So mark your XP, and as you come in, you hit Brother Rook. Like you come in with your claws, and you go to like stab into him, and as you tear through his cloak, it is revealed that he has a hard carapace for a body. And as you tear his cloak, just slash through him and his cloak comes off, it's revealed that he has basically the body of a beetle, and his armor is incredibly tough. He is not wearing armor. He was wearing just a cloak, and he naturally has just insane hardness. And
Off targets!
And with that, one of Brother Spade's arms on the right with his sword comes down and hits you for 6 damage, ignoring
God
1
damn.
armor.
Cool. And then Basil and Chives go? Or Chives goes? Like,
Yes. So Brother Spade is actively reloading his crossbow. Brother Rook now stands basically like towering over Brother Midnight. Brother Moncala is running up with a dagger to stab Wick. Basil and Chives, what are you doing?
Since I don't have the drop anymore, there's no more called shot.
Yes.
I think from this distance, I will nod at Chives and be in sync with him and fire a volley at Brother Spade to time with Chives charging him as well.
Okay. All right. That sounds like you are using, what's it called?
Volley and command.
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead
would
and
be
link
the
command and
combo.
then volley.
Roll command first.
Yeah, just link it because I don't think it's a roll.
Okay.
It just tells us what you're adding. So when you attack the same target with Basil and something he's trained to do, which he is, which is fighting humanoids, you add ferocity to your damage. Cool.
Yes, and
So,
Chives' ferocity is +1.
nice.
All right, so volley time.
Yeah.
shoot him.
Boom.
You shoot him.
Oh, nice.
Nice one.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage.
All right.
Plus a
Oh,
D4.
I was gonna say I get the magical improvement as well. So
That's right.
all right,
So
damage
oh
is an
my
8.
God.
+1
9
is 9.
9 for Chives, and then
1d4.
throw a D4 in there real quick. Oop.
Oh, that's 11 damage. Wow.
nice work.
Damn. Good magic bow action.
Mhm.
Yeah, you hit through. So Spade is pretty heavily armored as well. He's got some like studded leather armors on, but your arrow like pierces right through that into his chest, and he winces. One of his arms, the one with the buckler, just like immediately reaches for his chest, and he is groaning as well, but he's moving in to attack Merrick. Okay, so Rook,
stabbed him to death.
who are you stabbing?
The little dude, the mage guy who's being protected.
He is being defended by Rook, who is now like literally standing over him.
Okay, fine. I switch targets. I do a quick little swivel as a great sword comes down on my neck, and I stab Brother Spade in the head. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready for me to stab Spade?
So you're going to just take hits from Rook and Moncala then, if you ignore them, because like I've established that they're swinging at you.
Okay, then we defend? I'm not.
Yeah. So
I don't know how hold or defend works.
So
one time I tried it, I was told worms were eating my neck.
Yeah. Let's take a look at defend so we can have a better understanding of it. Can you link it for us? And we won't use this roll.
Okay. Can we use the roll though? Since I'm gonna do it anyway.
Sure, that's fine. I mean, I wanted to just kind of talk about it to make sure it's what you wanted to do. So defending something means standing nearby and focusing on preventing attacks against that thing or stopping anyone from getting near it. When you're no longer nearby or you stop devoting your attention to incoming attacks, then you lose your hold. Yeah. So this
I just go like full parry mode and
yeah,
just be
basically.
like, oh, you can't attack me, nerd.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So here, as Moncala and Rook's attacks come in, you have 3 hold, and you can spend them on your like as you're getting attacked. You could spend them on Merrick getting attacked, since he's nearby. So you can spend each of your hold, and you can spend them all at once or spread them out. Have the attacks effect or damage. Open up the attacker to an ally, giving that ally +1 forward against the attacker, or just deal your damage to the attacker equal to your level.
Okay. Sounds good.
So as both of these attacks come in, you can just have the damage if you want to spend hold on that.
Well, let's find out the damage first, right?
Okay. So Brother Rook swings his incredibly large sword down at you. Oh boy. That is 11 damage.
Yeah, we're gonna have that.
Okay, have that to 5, and it has 2 piercing.
Okay.
And
so
then
that deals 4. Then okay, cool.
yeah. And then Brother Moncala is going to look like he's lunging forward with a stab of his dagger. And then extending from his weird-looking face is an extremely long tongue that pierces into your neck and poisons you. Take -1 ongoing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be their actions.
Yes, Spade. 2 of his arms are reloading his crossbow as he is defending himself. He is switched over completely to defense.
Okay.
With his.
So you're saying that Brother Midnight is untargetable because Brother Rook is so big at this point, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, he's kind of like leaning over him, one arm just completely blocking, like ready to just soak hits. And he's swinging with his other arm.
And then Brother Spade is completely defending?
Yeah. As he is reloading a crossbow. Because he can simultaneously be defending while preparing to attack it with a ranged weapon.
Sounds good. I'm going to stay up in his face then. I'm going to yell at the cacophony, be like, drop this one. And I turn and I'm going to swing at Brother Spade.
Okay. He is just simply going to block your attacks.
So the defend for us works differently from the defend for them?
So my creatures just have moves. And because he has 4 arms, he is way more proficient at blocking melee attacks. because he can use 2 arms to block completely while doing other stuff.
Alright.
That
Is
doesn't
any
mean
part
he
of
is
him-
completely impervious. Like Cacophony, you're still behind him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is any part of his like skin visible to me? Because
Yeah.
I want to poison this guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So-
poison the
He's
crap out of him.
almost dead.
Yep, just kill him.
Fucking
One last
kill-
question. As my attack fails, does that mean I gain experience, or do I get to roll and maybe gain experience, or is that just an effect that you're declaring?
It's just a narrative, like, this is what's happening.
Got it. Go ahead, Shannon. Do what you want to do.
Well, so I want to stab him with my dagger, but my dagger's released with poison.
Mm-hmm.
So hack and slash.
Yes.
It's got to be hack and slash. Nick.
No, it's just deal your damage. It's just actually, this is
Or-
just
is it
backstab.
the-
This is backstab, so
Oh.
you can either deal damage or roll backstab and get effects.
Should I roll back? I'm just gonna deal damage.
Okay.
I think because I would rather not risk it at this point because
Mhm.
I goofed the last one. So
Yeah, and you saw him take an arrow to the chest already. And I think your cheap shot gives you an extra d6 as well.
Oh, wow.
oh hell yeah. Okay,
dude.
so let me.
So roll another d6. Not that it's gonna matter because you're gonna just straight up kill this guy.
Wonderful.
Dead Goro.
Oh damn it! I did that wrong.
That's
Slash
okay.
R.
He's dead. Like 6 was
Okay.
actually enough, but you know, if you want to roll it for funsies, go for it.
I really do.
Do it.
Do it. Always rolling your dice.
Nice, 9 damage.
Hey! Okay.
Yeah, so you just come up behind Spade, shiv him in the back, and he just groans, drops the crossbow, drops the sword, and falls to the ground. Okay. Basil.
Can I use one of my hold to give Basil a +1 against
Yes.
his attacker?
Yes.
I would like to do that.
All right, who are you
So
opening
Basil,
up?
whoever you call out.
I still have no shot on Midnight, who's casting the spell, right?
Correct.
Okay. Vic, who are you in a better position to grab hold of right now?
Probably Moncala.
I think I would follow your lead. Okay,
Okay.
so let's
So
take
Moncala
out
comes-
Moncala.
Yeah.
All right, so I take
So-
aim at Moncala and give another nod to Chives to ready him for joining me and fucking shit up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be another volley.
Okay. That is an 8 with the +1 forward from Wick, who has 1 hold left. Okay.
Is that a +1 also from Chives joining in the attack?
That's damage.
Chives improves damage.
Oh, that's right. Okay, got it. All right, so that's an 8. You said.
Yes, so you deal your damage, but you have to choose one of these.
I will have to take several shots and use an ammo. Let me go ahead and decrease that. 2. And then go ahead and deal damage.
Nice.
And that's plus Chives, and then plus a 1d4, right? For the. Are you still concentrating on me, Merrick?
I am. For about 10 more seconds.
6
So that's
damage.
6
Make it count.
damage.
Nice. So
6 damage on
Moncala. Moncala hasn't been hit yet. Okay.
But he dies anyway, right?
Okay.
Hmm.
6 damage. Okay. All right. So Moncala takes the hit, and he says he leans or he looks over at Rook briefly, or he just glances over and says, "Get Midnight out of here." And he is going to, I think, just attack you, Wick.
Okay.
For some more damage here. This time he actually does stab you for
That's fine.
4 damage.
Cool.
Nope.
Does he have piercing?
No, he does not have piercing.
All right. I will subtract my 1 hit point.
And then Rook just goes ahead and just picks up Brother Midnight with his
stabbed in the back
with his free arm. Yeah, and American Cacophony, this is your opportunity to act as he begins to just start running.
I'm gonna give chase for sure, but I'm assuming, okay, so like my assumption is that he's picking up dude under his arm and he's like running past, and like we're all passing Wick, right? So I'm gonna take that opportunity to steal my spike back, and then I'm gonna jam it in the back of that beetle fella's back. That's my move. That's all. I'm gonna steal my damn spike back first of all, because it's mine, because I stole it fair and square.
You do not get your spike back now.
I worked hard for that.
No, you didn't.
By not working very hard
You
at all.
literally
He
walked up and just took it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna steal it, and then I'm gonna jam it in that dude's back.
Okay. So he begins to run. He lets out a whistle, and this spider mount over here immediately bites a rope and starts running over here.
So while Cacophony is fighting with Wick, he's basically gonna get away for free now, right?
I would like.
I'm being stabbed. She's trying to steal something that she doesn't know where it's currently located from, and this dude's just gonna walk off.
There's only so many places you can hide a giant spike, friend.
You know where it is.
All right.
Can I cast a spell, Nick?
Yes, go ahead.
All right.
Sorry, Shannon.
I would like to grab my holy symbol, and the eyes in the snake are going to turn red, and I would like to cast the spell Cause Fear. And I will. You want me to do the cast the spell move now and then describe it?
Yes, please.
All right. Let's hope this one works. Oh no, it fails. Damn it.
Oh my god.
That has the. Yeah, I decided not to end my spell for Basil. So yep, my spell fails.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You have the -1 ongoing here.
I did.
Not that a 6 would have helped.
I was gonna cast Cause Fear on Brother Midnight and make Brother Rook completely afraid of Brother Midnight. But that would have been awesome. It failed.
Oh, that's interesting. So Rook, as Cacophony and Wick are struggling with each other.
I use my last hold to deal my level's worth of damage to Cacophony. And then I want to sprint after this guy. Letting Moncala hit or poison me, I don't care what, but I'm chasing these people down.
Okay.
Suicidally, if I must.
Okay. Cacophony, I believe you're going to take 2 damage. Minus armor.
You take 2 damage, Cacophony.
How much armor do you have? You have 1 armor.
1.
So you take 1 damage. As
I parry you! Oh, charge!
Wick shoves you off, leaving you with Moncala.
Does Moncala stab me on my way out?
Yeah, he sure does. Take 3 damage.
Cool, I take nothing, and want to stab Rook or whatever his name is in the back of the leg here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, deal your damage.
Or 11.
Just deal your damage.
Oh, deal my damage. Cool. For 7. There you go.
Yeah.
No piercing. Does he have 7 armor?
He does not have 7 armor, but he does have quite a bit. And, quite honestly, this is tougher than his chitin is tougher than any armor you've come up against.
Jesus.
He has a lot of armor.
Use the GD spike. If I grappled you threw me off, but did I get the spike back or no?
I throw it the other direction. I told you.
All right.
You weren't listening.
Not at all.
Raven, Moncala turns to you and just says, "Selkie scum," and he is going to attack you with his tongue. What are you doing?
Ew. I'm gonna recoil because take a lady to dinner first, my guy, and then.
Are you gonna try and dodge it?
Can I dodge it?
Yeah, you can always if I declare someone's attacking you, you can always describe how you evade or block it. And that's Defy Danger.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay, then I'm going to definitely try to dodge that. And then, I have daggers. So, okay. So can I do like a two-parter? Like where I dodge it and then throw my dagger at him?
I'm kind of skipping some other people, but Moncala is deciding who he's going after first. So just give me a Defy Danger Dex, and we'll circle back around to you. Great. He like sticks his tongue out at you, swipe. He's got you kind of like on the back foot, but you're evading his attacks. Okay. I believe it is Andy.
Yep.
This spider is just hustling.
I square my feet and get a good sense of the wind and distance between me and that spider's legs. And line up a nice clean shot to keep him from taking these guys away.
Okay.
And I also quietly growl, and I told you so, like we should have dealt with the pack animals first, you motherfuckers.
Very true.
So you're going to you're aiming just to like disable them, right?
I am, so within called shot there you can specifically target body parts, including legs, in which deal your damage and they are hobbled or slow moving.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
So I'm targeting the spider's legs.
There are many.
I'm going for one of the main ones.
One of the main legs. Okay. That's a 10.
Yes.
Okay, legs, dealing
right.
damage, and they're hobbled and slow moving.
And are you still focused on me, Merrick? Is this still extra strength
your
bow
magic
action?
book. Yeah, it's up
right.
until I drop it, and
Okay,
I'm not
got
going to
it.
drop it now
All right,
because
I'll stop
my-
asking.
No. This is always good to ask.
All right. Damage.
Oh,
8.
God, wow. Y'all are rolling really well on damage
And
here.
then a little D4 action for some extra magical work.
Yeah.
11
Okay.
damage on that spider's legs. Perfect bullseye.
Okay.
Fuck you for not letting me deal with the pack animals first, I
Yeah.
say, as I release the arrow.
I think with that much damage, you take out like 2 of its legs, so it is definitely like slowed down. And I think as the spider gets to really close to Brother Rook, Rook has to make a decision here. Because normally this is his mount and he rides along with one of his companions, and that's fine. But he's a big dude, and this spider now has 2 fewer legs. So I think he's going to toss Brother Midnight on top of the spider.
Wonderful. Now he's open and available.
True. To a throwing knife.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm sorry, Nick. I don't interrupt.
And Brother Rook, as he like just like hurls and tosses Midnight onto the spider, he like with his oh no, that would have been with his free arm. Yeah, that's what he does. And then he begins to turn to face Wick.
Does he even see me as I walk past him and stab Midnight in the face?
So
You know, he's so distracted, I could just circle around. I see what he's doing. He's a big lumbering guy, right?
yeah,
He is all neck and shoulders, right?
I am picturing this as like a drive-by, like the spider is moving along and he just like is plopping Midnight on there as the spider's going by. I think there is a moment to try and get in there, but I think I need a dexterity check to
that spider is hobbled or slow moving.
Yes, but
think
it
that's
is
what allows
capable
us
of
to get this
carrying
check.
2 people, and it's a spider.
Okay. Got it.
So
You
I
want
am
a dex check?
yes, a dex check to see if you can get in quick enough to hit him. Okay.
I'll get within.
Deal your
Yes.
damage.
Damn.
All right.
And don't
Dealing
roll.
damage.
Okay.
Come on.
There you go.
Does he die?
Yeah, you
In the face.
and you also have I think it's also partly because you have a spear, so you have reach, that you're able to do this. But you lance up and stab Midnight through, and he lets out a cry that just kind of deflates. and Rook just goes into a fit of fury, and he punches you in the face
That's fine. I expect it.
for
And deserve it.
6 damage.
He punches me for 6?
He punches you in the face for 6 damage.
That's fair.
Dude.
I reel
Hey.
back.
How you
Yeah.
doing, buddy?
This is also a
I'm
forceful blow, so you get knocked to the ground
Oh,
and flung back
Hi.
a couple feet.
I am barreled over, doing a sick ninja backward somersault and totally not just getting knocked off onto my ass.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Lay it
Is
off.
it me now?
Yeah. Hey, Merrick.
Yep.
Demons all turn to face you all.
We freed them. They owe us their lives.
Good point.
All right. I would like to circle to the back of Mancala over here, and then try to swing at him when he's
Mhm.
distracted by cacophony.
Okay. He's actively tracking both of you, and he's going to be trying to dodge these attacks. So you still have to swing with hack and
Sounds good.
slash.
Since Chives is
in.
right there, can he also help out with this attack?
You can aid or interfere.
Oh, it's not a command? Like I nod at Chives, like
No,
the
the
pain with
the
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 swing?
command benefits only you.
I gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Hack and slash coming in.
That's a miss.
That's a 1 and a 1. Oh,
Okay.
my 1 is. It should. Oh, no, it is.
Oh wow.
Doop-boo. No, my -1 ongoing should only be the spells. I'm sorry, so that shouldn't be on there. But still,
Oh, I see.
it's technically a 3. It's a miss.
Okay.
I'm getting hit.
Double one.
Yeah. So Moncala is going to, as you try and circle and swing at him, he is just going to tumble out of the way. As he's just a barrel roll.
Love it.
Closer to the demons that
That's
descend
exactly
upon
what
him,
I was
right?
And he picks
Is he-
up into a sprint in this direction. He's not making it very far quite yet, but he is going to actively be trying to exit the battlefield.
Sounds good. Do I mark experience for my failure?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, it is done. That is my turn.
All right. Cacophony,
Aaron?
Basil. There are now demons facing you all as Mancala is trying to run away, and Rook is just literally staring down at Wick, towering over him.
I think Cacophony takes a moment to like silently like appreciate like when he got punched in the face, and she's like, "Oh, I bet that hurt so much." And then she's like, "Okay, now I can move. Now I can do something." So Mancala is moving towards the demons, right?
He's moving kind of perpendicular.
He's going south.
This
Yeah.
coward. I don't want him getting away. I'm gonna give chase and try to stab him. I mean, especially since he's running away, right? His back is to us. Can I like
Yeah.
try to?
He is defenseless to you.
Hope I don't. Hope it doesn't suck. Hey!
Oh my god. Okay, choose 2.
I don't have my glasses on, so I have to like lean really close.
You don't get into melee with them. You deal your damage plus 1d6. You create an advantage plus 1 forward to you or an ally acting on it, or reduce their armor by 1 until they repair it.
So, question: if I say I want to do my damage plus 1d6, is it actually 2d6 because of my cheap shot?
Correct.
That's the guy. That's the one I'm doing.
You also get one other choice on a 12.
Oh, it says I can create an advantage plus 1 toward myself or an ally acting on it. I choose that one, and who's hurting? Who needs it?
Well, it would be the next person that attacks Mancala.
Oh,
Ah,
cool.
got it.
You
Perfect.
learned something about him, a weak spot.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage plus 2d6.
Unless this kills him.
It might. It might not.
11.
That's 11. Do you have any piercing? Oh, it doesn't matter. Never mind. Yeah, you kill him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. Do you
Go
want to?
down.
Do you want to? Do you have a description for it as this four-armed? Or I'm sorry, this is the frog-looking dude.
Mancala?
Yeah.
Yeah, like as he's running away from me, I'm gonna like fly towards him and then latch my talons into the back of his neck and
Ugh.
sink down into him
Oof.
and just kind of claw my way through.
Gross.
Super
Nice.
gross.
Okay.
It's
All
a
right.
bloodbath.
Yeah, it kind of is. Basil.
Some sort of feast for crows, you might say. So,
Copyright infringement.
and so during all this, I think I run up to where Merrick is, and ask him, tell him like thank you for strengthening my bow and empowering me in this fight. You need to focus on this.
Shoot something.
In the background,
focus
Rook
on
is
this.
just stomping towards
You
Moss.
need to focus on
I'm
this.
just doing cartwheels
now.
and dodging.
Can you
Run
Can you
away.
communicate with this demon and emphasize that we just liberated it and see if we can get them on our side?
Yeah, hang on. Wick, you are on the ground and he is coming ferociously for you. We're gonna deal with that in a second.
I'm gonna do a cool acrobatic move. It's fine.
All right. He two-handed is coming down towards you with his diclave, and you are laying on the ground.
All right.
I'm rolling
While
out
I'm
of the way.
still powered up, maybe I have to shoot a volley at Brother Rook.
Go for it.
You know, he's distracted. I just killed his best friend, and
That's true. All right.
maybe you're gonna get something.
halfway through my conversation to Merrick, before I hear the answer, I realize I should be helping.
Talk to him. Just like
Yeah,
Like-
without looking.
It's a very Legolas moment where
I was
you're
gonna
just
say
like
Legolas move,
focused on the
yeah.
conversation while just
He
like
How many are you at, Gimli?
Just
As
realized he was
Aragorn's
half
just on the other side of the wall.
All right. That's a volley. Let's say I have to move into a dangerous spot to get the shot done. So go ahead and deal damage. The dupe. And dupe. 8 damage on Mr. Rook.
Is Chives helping? It could get you another.
And
plus
yes,
one.
Chives and I gave a nod, and Chives ran in there with his horns forward and
okay.
gave a point as well. So 9 damage.
Yeah. Yeah, Chives runs into him and it just he kind of bounces off of Rook.
Oh.
But your arrow finds purchase. Now let's talk about this into a dangerous spot. I think the large toad is like letting out a weird song and is hopping towards Merrick and Cacophony, and the little babies are just like running right past you all.
Oh, I was gonna say, by this point, Basil had moved up to be near Merrick, so I
Yeah.
should actually be over here.
Yeah, so
And
they
and Chives should be over here now. There you go.
all the babies, we'll just say, are over here, like getting ready to pounce you all.
Damn it.
Okay, so Moss, you got punched in the face and knocked on your ass. Chives just runs into Rook's leg. He takes an arrow in the shoulder and just seems to not be paying any attention to it whatsoever. He brings his giant diclave over his head and swings down at you. What are you doing?
I roll out of the way.
Defy danger dex, please.
I would love to not be hit at all.
That is a 10. I believe you're supposed to have -1 ongoing from the poison.
I
So
don't
that's
know
a
how to
10.
add that. Okay, yeah, there we go.
That's a 10. So you dodge out of the way. His sword just goes straight into the dirt, like it is embedded in the dirt. You have a moment to stand up, and he just lifts it up again like it's just moving through butter.
Cool.
and he is completely focused on you.
Um,
You can see through his metal helmet. He has like black bug eyes.
that's cool.
Yeah.
He's a slow lumbering guy, right? So if I just like run a direction, he can't keep up with me? Question mark.
I mean, he's not wearing anything really
Yeah.
besides a helmet.
He's got a
And
cool exoskeleton, though, right?
yeah, but he's also massive, so his stride makes up for his
Oh, fair.
slow pace.
Ooh, that is fair. I guess I'm going to... Oh, I'm going to do the Griffith. Can I stand on his sword like a weirdo and just stab him in the face?
You can do another Defy Danger Dex to do that. Or I guess that would be hack and slash.
Yeah.
Let's just do a hack and slash there.
Okay. 9, and that is with -1.
So that's an 8. So deal your damage.
No, I added the negative modifier. It's
Oh,
still 9.
yes. Okay, that's a 9.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you're not able to land on his blade, but in the air you're able to, get a hit in to his head. But he clips into you for another 6 damage,
Okay.
ignoring 2 armor.
Ignoring 2 armor?
Yes.
Okay. Was he always ignoring 2 armor, or was he ignoring 3 armor?
He ignores 2 armor.
Okay. Then, it's fine. Whatever. We're
Wick,
good.
Wick, what's your HP at right now?
If I was on a scale of 100% to dead, I would be halfway there and living on a prayer.
Okay, so he suffers a boatload of damage.
How injured does our boy, Brother Rook, look?
I was just gonna ask that.
Well, that stab in the head, you can see blood running down through the bottom of the helmet, and he just lets out a big ass like roar, that has like some guttural clicking to it.
That's fine.
Because he has a beetle mouth.
It's just, he's not even. I look at him with pity.
I have
Poor
an
guy.
idea.
And
But I need Merrick's help.
really quickly, let me just finish a moment here with
please,
Wick.
Sorry.
Rook kind of like brings his sword up like he's getting ready to make one last lunge attack, and he says to you, Moss, or Wick, boy, I thought we had left you for dead. We should have made sure. And it dawns on you that this man is an individual who was there when you were tricked by the Rust brothers and left for dead before your transformation.
Memories go flashing by.
Mm-hmm.
Rook, is that you? Now we have his name in canon. Okay. What are the other team members doing?
Yeah, so you all are being kind of surrounded by little demon babies, and Mama Frog Demon has come this way. It's not looking good. You all are going to be taking a lot of damage. What do you do?
Awesome. So
Shannon
I
has
was
something
gonna
she won't
say,
do. Correct.
Yes.
I did, but I need Merrick's help because he's closer. I was gonna say, can we maybe kill 2 birds with 1 stone and grab one of the babies and throw it at Rook, and maybe the mom will give chase. Just chuck it like a football at Rook, and then maybe the mama frog will be like, no, and then turn her attentions on the beetle monster man. This might be
you're welcome.
completely
You're welcome to
ridiculous.
do that on your turn. I'm not sure.
That's not for you. No sweat. That's not your flavor. I get it.
Not that's not my flavor. Like, what do you tell me to do? Pick it up and throw it?
Yeah, chuck it at Rook.
All right. I'm definitely not going to pick it up and throw it, but I'll totally try to punt it over there. I'll just try to drop kick one of those baby demons over in Rook's direction.
Okay.
Steel
Not
toe
drop
boot.
kick. I'm gonna just punt it.
Just kick it.
Give me a Defy Danger Strength,
Defy Danger Strength. Okay, I can do that.
or I'll take an argument for something
Can I
else.
aid? Can
Nope.
I aid or help or no? Damn. Okay.
I would.
I would definitely roll strength. Go ahead.
Okay, go for
Roll on that, Nick. She
Okay.
wants to aid or help.
How would you help, Cacophony? I would love to know.
Yeah.
I'll run interference with the mama, and I'll start kind of waving my claws.
I don't
in
think
her
that is
face.
helping
I
Merrick
don't-
kick. Like,
Probably not.
Merrick is going to take damage anyway.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
Go ahead,
Chives could aid and interfere and kind of use his horns and prop one up in the air to tee up the drop kick. Just set him up.
I mean, Chives is over by Rook.
Yep.
Not
Oh,
the,
that's right.
not the
Roll,
baby.
guys.
That's right.
I think it's time
I'm
to
gonna
roll.
Yeah.
What if
never
I-
mind.
That's
Okay.
a failure.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
So that is a failure. And
It's
as
level 3.
the baby demons are quite jumpy, so it leaps away from your kick, and the two in front of you, Merrick, bite you for 7 damage. Ooh,
7 damage.
7 damage,
Do I-
no piercing.
Oh, so I get to subtract my armor, right?
Yes, yeah. So subtract armor from that. And then the mama frog is going to lash out her tongue. The long tongue that saved her one baby demon last time, and she just pulls you in, and you are grappled by her tongue.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Cacophony and Basil, you two are also being attacked by demons. What are you doing to deal with them?
I want to try. I want to try my idea and try to pick one of the things up and then throw it to see if that will move her attention. I feel
Cacophony,
badly
you're
that-
looking at Merrick being eaten. Actually eaten. The plan is over. What are you?
You make
tried.
You make some good arguments. All right, fine. I
In
will.
the mouth of the beast.
I'll
You're
use
like,
my
oh.
claws to try and scratch her tongue, so that I want to cut her tongue so that she'll drop Merrick.
Okay, so you're gonna ignore the baby demons and run up and try and attack.
Oh crap! Because they're gonna. I forgot that they were attacking me.
Only one is on.
I have to
you.
deal with them before I can
you
save
got
Merrick,
2.
right?
There are two here on Cacophony, 2 here on Basil and Chives, including the slightly larger one, and then there were 2 on Merrick, but their meal got stolen by Mama.
Okay.
You're kind of on your own, buddy. Hope you can kill Rook.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
So okay, then rather than I won't be foolhardy. Then I'm gonna try and do hack and slash on the little baby demons so that
Great.
I can be free to go and help Merrick.
All right, hack them up. Hack
We'll
them
see.
up,
Get 'em.
up. Hack them up. You're on fire!
Uh-oh. You know, we
So
do this
good.
frog a favor, and this is how it acts?
All right,
Unbelievable.
go ahead and take 3 damage minus armor.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Basil, what are you doing?
I am jumping out of the way and in mid jump taking out my spear and trying to land it straight down on the head of the bigger of the 2 little baby demons.
Okay. So really quick, Cacophony, mark XP if you didn't, because you failed.
did.
Merrick, same for you for your defy danger. Basil, give me a hack and slash.
Slash on
Or
strength
actually,
or
give me.
dexterity. Because I think this
Oh.
is a move that requires dexterity. If I'm jumping out of the way and trying to land perfectly.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I should have you do defy danger. Defy danger first. Yeah, give me defy danger
Okay.
first
Defy danger first.
to roll out of the way.
Oop.
Oh my god.
Nope.
Mark XP.
More
Uh-oh,
than
Nick.
level 1.
Tonight, guys.
You ready for the party wipe?
Yep.
So you were trying to roll out of the way and pull out your spear, but I think they bite you and nibble you for 5 damage minus your armor, but you're not able to pull back. One of them circles behind you and kind of trips you up, so you are not able to get out of the way.
Get tabletopped by a lobster.
Yeah, kind of. And you're gonna need to do a hack and slash to attack.
Strength or dexterity on that one?
Whatever the spear
Oh,
says. What is a spear? Let me look at this.
Spear.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, get out of here.
Reach thrown near. I think it's strength. Because I think finesse is finesse. Dex
No, it's
based.
strength.
Or what cause? But what's the tag for a weapon to use dexterity?
It's precise.
Oh, precise. Thank you. So
Okay.
that's not a
So
precise
if you
weapon.
had like a rapier or something.
All right. Let's hack and slash for strength, which I'm still -1 weak, so this is gonna go well.
All right, mark another XP and suffer. Oh my god, another 6 damage, minus armor.
All
I
right.
feel like we're all going to die.
When
You
do
managed to
when
get
do I
hit
play
twice.
Last Breath, by the way?
Yeah, when you hit 0 HP, you straight up just roll last breath.
Okay, got it.
All right.
How
Oh,
bad
yeah,
is
buddy.
Wait,
Wick.
Basil, what are you at now?
Basil's
Okay,
at
so
9 out of 21.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So is
I'm not bad.
Cacophony.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Okay.
So, Wick, you thought you had it bad over here.
No, I'm fine. I'm
Yeah.
faster than this guy. Can I? So, talk to me about healing potions. Is this just like a item that I use, or what?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
this a move?
yeah. I think you'd want to like get out, do something about the fact that he's going to be swinging at you.
Yeah.
Get out of the way, with the defy danger. But yeah, you can just consume that on your turn and heal up.
Okay. I guess I do that then.
All right.
I'm fine.
You
Nice.
sprint out of the way. Maybe
Yeah,
use
so-
use chives being in the way to your advantage.
Yeah, can I like circle around like here and bring? We're bringing everyone together. I'm tired of being split up. So I've already dodged him.
Yeah, he's
which
just
means he narratively can't attack me.
and he just like tries to like walk towards you, but Chives is just like head forward and he's just like hold the door.
Thanks, Chives. Can I ram my body into this like toad as part of my turn, or is the
Yeah, sure,
potion
why
good?
not?
Okay, is that a hack and slash?
Oh, well, what is the effect you're going for?
All right, sword under arm, holding it and just ramming it like I'm committing an assassination
charge
on a
attack?
Japanese prime minister in
Jousting.
1972.
Yes, hack and slash, please.
No communism here. Yes.
Nice.
Damn.
All right.
Vic.
At your option, you may choose to deal an extra d6 damage, but expose yourself to the enemy's attack.
I'll do that actually.
Okay. Let me pull up my Frog Mama's stats here.
Oh fuck. Not worth.
All right.
It's unarmored, right? It doesn't have armor like it's baby daddy, like a weird bug dude.
Yeah, the cricket fella.
I mean, so when you killed Grelf, the other demon, the fox one that turned out to be a cricket demon, Embers asked you what it was immune to, and like asked you about its resistances, and said yes, demons seem to be like resistant to all kinds of damages.
Even
But
magical swords.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sometimes.
Rip.
Your sword is going to do. Let's see. You rolled
It's a
9.
9.
Okay. Yeah, you pierce through its flesh, but it is extremely tough and rubbery, like almost like a tire.
Did it do enough to get this thing's attention? Maybe drop Merrick out of its mouth to bite me instead.
It is focusing on like nom-nomming on Merrick, but one of its eyes, like the one on your side, just like turns and looks at you.
Okay.
Okay.
It paints such a picture, Nick. That's really nice.
Yeah.
All right, am I up?
Yes, you are up. You are being bitten and eaten. What do you
Okay.
do?
Does this thing have like teeth that is trying to drive into me, or is it trying to like swallow me?
Yeah, it's got several rows of teeth in its mouth. Now that you're here, it has a very weird mouth. And it has an extremely strong tongue.
Okay. I want to use my shield to either smash on the tongue or to stick it in its mouth and block the teeth from biting me.
Which is it?
What would you...
You get the sense that, like, you're not going to be able to fight with, like, wrestle with this tongue. It is just stronger than you, and it's
Giant
slippery as well. So, like, getting a handhold, just not going to work. And it didn't even sound like that was an option you were considering. But yeah, you could try and finish it off by damaging it and wounding it in this exposed area, but also trying to stop it from chomping on you would stop the damage, which is going to happen unless you somehow prevent it.
Right. I think Wick has an angle on it. I'm going to try to stop it from dealing damage to me at this point. Because I need to stay healthy. My team is not.
Yeah, that sounds like a defy danger strength to just shove it in there. Nice.
There we go.
Yeah. Like as it goes to bite down on you, you just shove the shield in, and it like begins kind of waving its mouth around like animals do when their mouths are have something stuck in them. All right. And then it begins to let out another like warbling frog hypnotoad sound.
Can it even?
Yeah. Okay. So, Basil and Cacophony, you still have demon babies.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah.
Kill him.
I'm gonna
Fucking kill
try
him.
to like stomp them with my talons.
All right.
Yes. Is that also a hack and slash?
Yes, it is.
Chicken fighting a grub.
Yes.
Ah!
God damn it.
Oh, Shannon.
Shannon, you gotta hit one.
Shannon, take
something.
5 damage minus armor as another one joins in the pile.
Yeah. I'm dead.
Just run. Just back off.
Basil.
Wish I could.
Oh, true.
Yeah, mark XP. Shannon.
Was that 5 damage you said?
5 damage minus armor. Which is, you have 1 armor, so that's just 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I decide to focus my energy on freeing Merrick.
Mm-hmm.
Merrick, is Merrick still grappled? Or are you still?
We got this,
Fine.
bro.
Yeah, but
I'm the
defend
healthiest
yourself.
of all of us. You're gonna die if you don't kill these things in front of you.
Yeah.
All right. Then I'm just gonna make another move with the spear, go for another hack and slash, and
okay.
try and. Actually, no. I am going to. Can I close range volley? Do I have to be far away? No,
Yeah,
it
you
says
have
at
to.
range.
Yeah.
Never mind. All right. I am going to hack and slash, and I'm also going to, over the top of one of these demons, catch Chives' eye and bring him running in to assist me with my attack. So I take up the spear, and fuck.
Guys, I need you to
We're dead.
stop farming experience.
I'm level 3.
Andy.
Oh my god.
I need you to take 7 damage minus armor.
I am at 3 HP.
Oof. All right.
What's our Raven sister doing? She just still hanging out?
There's
went and
3
hid.
dead rust brothers. There's only
Oh,
one left.
somewhere.
Has Alilu found the strength to fight?
That way steal a horse and
Yeah,
like
you tell
run?
us, Nick. Is this bitch gonna help us or not?
That's a great question. I think she is someone who just lost a bunch of her sisters. She knows that an entire settlement is relying on her to heal them, and she's also
fair.
been mind controlled for a week. I don't know if she's in combat ready state.
Right.
That's fair.
Smart.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Let's kill the frog, right?
Yeah. So Rook is lumbering behind you, pulling up his sword wick.
Oh! If he comes swinging down on me, if I dodge it, can he hit the frog instead?
Give
Oh, that's
me
such a good
a
idea.
defy danger to make this happen.
Oh, this is where I'm gonna fuck it up, though, Nick. we got we got two
Been
fives,
rolling
guys.
12s all night.
Well,
Yeah.
if you roll double ones again, then he stabs through you into the frog as well.
Okay, all right. I stumble, hesitate, or flinch.
Okay.
That's not, is that a partial?
So yeah, that's a partial success.
What if we both get hit? I'll settle for that, Nick.
Oh my gosh.
So here you can either I will offer you a worse Okay, so I can just give you an outcome that is worse. So yeah, I think he just runs through both of you. And you still take the hit.
That's fine.
You're not able to get out of the way.
As long as the frog is hit with me, that's all that matters.
So that is... Oh, shoot, what was his modifier? His weapon. That is 8 damage, ignoring 2 armor.
Okay. So 7.
Yep. Merrick, you feel the tongue relax around you as the frog slumps to the ground.
Oh, it's dead.
It is dead.
Immediately, seeing the frog impaled, my shoulder cleaved partially, I run Brother Rick through, or Rook, Brother Rick, uh-oh, a Freudian slip as I think of my grandpapa, and stab him, son of...
Yeah.
You're better than me, Dad. Yeah.
I miss.
He's just gonna punch you in the face again as a
Okay.
follow through. Take 11 damage minus 2 armor.
He hits for harder with his sword? Oh my god.
Jeez Louise.
I mean, he's wearing a gauntlet. If that makes you feel any
That
better.
doesn't matter.
I think a tooth falls out.
I go fucking flying,
Yeah.
about to die.
Yeah. He also has forceful with his punches. So yeah, you are stunned here for a moment. Merrick, Cacophony, Basil, who is next, as baby demons are just too busy to notice that their mother is dead, as they are like so close to getting a meal.
Well, they don't have a hive mind situation.
No.
I'm gonna. All we can do is hack it. Well, all I can do is hack and slash, especially if they're like all like on me.
Yeah.
They don't run away after their mom expires?
They are carnivorous. They are focused in a different direction. Okay, Cacophony,
Yeah.
deal your damage.
Oh, no.
But if like a cheetah cub watches its mom die, right?
5.
Okay.
I got 1 hit point. They all die. It's fine.
Shannon, I'm gonna level with you.
I'm gonna be dead. I'm rolling
Let
last breath
me
here.
make sure I've been rolling the right number for demon babies.
Oh, no.
I have been. Their chomp is 1d6, and then when there are multiple enemies, you're supposed to add +1 for each additional enemy.
On a
So
scale of 1 to 10, how dead am I?
100%.
Like
dead.
super dead. Awesome.
Okay,
Take
so
my HP
you
down
take
to 0.
Yeah, I rolled a 6 plus 2 is 8, so you're at 0. You go down. Basil, we're gonna come back to the last breaths later. Basil.
Okay.
Alright.
But like,
What happens to these demon babies? in
oh
turn?
yeah, they all die. Like it's
die.
you
Thank
swiped them
goodness.
all.
We killed each other. It's poetic.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
they're like biting into you, and you just like claw into their eyes and mouths. But you are bleeding out here,
Yeah.
and you black out. Basil.
I am neither hacking nor slashing very successfully, so I'm going to try and, with Chives running interference, he's still got the Mushla's shield on him, so he can kind of like, help protect me. I evade to augment some distance between me and these babies so that I can go back to shooting them with the bow instead of the spear.
All right, that sounds like Defy Danger Dex to me.
Oh, good.
Buddy. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Uh-oh.
He loses his arrows. Come on. Make it worthless. Don't kill a second player, Nick.
You and me both.
Company's not
Gonna be
necessarily
rolling
dead.
that last breath, yeah.
Coffany's dead, man. Have you
Yeah.
seen what she's been rolling?
Shannon's really
Fine.
regretting all those gifted subs.
No, never. Even if I'm dead and gone, I'll still subscribe and watch the rest of you perish inevitably. So
Oh boy, yeah. Let me look at your stuff here, Andy. Let me see what I can ruin.
His bow. Just get rid of his bow.
I still had the spear in my hand at the time that I was trying to get out of the way. So
Yeah, they break your spear,
okay.
and you're not able to get out of the way.
Oh, fuck.
They surround you.
Great. Oh, let me. Do I take XP for this partial
Yes.
success or?
Oh no, sorry, that was a partial
No.
success, so no. Oh wait,
Okay.
then. Yeah. Okay.
They stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer me a worse outcome. A hard bargain or an ugly choice. So you
Right
choose
now.
which
So
of those three
the
things.
the spear is broken.
Uh-huh.
No, the spear is not broken. Here is the ugly choice. Either the spear will be broken, or you can get away but suffer damage. It will just be a flat d6 rather than a d6 plus 2.
I'll take
No,
it.
Nope.
the spear can be sacrificed in
Okay.
this dire moment.
Okay, and then
But-
and you are stuck
and I
there.
get away.
But what's his partial success then?
Oh,
But
well,
then
okay.
I get away.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You get away.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're right. You're
Let's
right.
say with a partial success, that was no
Yeah,
success.
the spirit is you
Yeah.
do get away, but
But my spear is shattered.
yes. Okay. Merrick.
Oh, yo, Basil, keep running! How dead does Wick look right now?
I'm fine. I have a healing potion in hand.
Wick
Don't
just
worry
got
about me.
uppercut, like socks knocked off, flung
It's
over
fine.
the frog.
I'm okay.
All right,
Wick
well-
tells you I'm okay.
That's great. I'm going to defend Wick because he's our only chance of killing this Brother Rook. I can't deal enough damage to hurt him.
I mean,
So I will stay-
he like blood is gushing from his neck. Like
Yeah, I know.
Just defend. Just defend.
I'm
You got
defending.
this.
okay, go
I will
ahead
defend
and
Brother Rook
roll defend.
against Brother Rook. 8. I hold 1.
You have one hold. Okay. All right, John.
I
Rook-
drink my juice.
That's right. You drink your juice. You heal for 10,
Heal for 10.
and Rook comes
I stand up.
stumbling forward. He takes a look at you, Merrick, and he says, "Move out of the way."
No. Worm protects me.
All right,
Oh my god.
Wick, what do you do?
Uh,
As he raises
so
a
my
sword.
ultimate goal, right, is Rook swings at Merrick, and in that opportunity, Wick finishes off Rook. That is what I want to do.
Okay.
So, what is that? Is that like a wait for an opportunity and like watch Merrick go down for the sure kill? Or
Yeah.
I have?
Yeah. I mean, like Rook is coming down, and all Merrick is doing is defending, so he's going to roll damage.
Yep.
And you can just deal damage after he deals damage to Merrick
That's what I want then.
because his guard will
Right.
have been lowered. Okay.
Good luck.
Then
I
I will
don't roll
have
16.
the damage of this attack.
Okay.
I'll have the damage of this attack.
Okay, that would be 10 divided by 2 is 5 damage minus armor.
Does his attack go through a certain amount of armor?
2 armor.
All right, then I will take 5 damage, and I'm
All
still
right.
fine.
I stab him for 11 damage.
All right. Tell me how cathartic it is and what it looks like to kill someone who was there when you were betrayed.
I think it's like a sword comes down on Merrick. Time seems to freeze as he and Rook like make eye contact through his stupid helmet, and my face bare and bloodied and mended. Just sword in hand, this crooked, cursed, sinister blade rams into the dude's stomach, and like Rook's, or not Rook, fuck, now I'm getting all of the names confused. Wick's face is just covered in hair and blood already. Currently a indiscernible mask of emotions. As Rook hopefully collapses and fucking dies.
Yeah. There is, I think, a flashback here in our HBO special version of the show where there's a flashback to your betrayal as you're like bleeding out after being like cut down by Rust Brothers, left for dead. And Rook is there, except he looks fully human. He has not undergone this transformation, and he's just like this massive dude leaning back against a tree watching you bleed out, and he just like smirks and laughs. He like twirls the Moss family blade that you gave to them as you trusted them and honored their request, and he walks away, and here you are,
POV of my hand stretched out, no, but now his hand stretched out,
yes,
as he dies.
I think he manages to mutter a few last words, and he just says, "You Moss family, you will suffer.
I already am."
You will." And he dies.
We do a quick whirl around to check on Cacophony and see Basil, and we're gonna slaughter these guys.
Yeah.
I will charge at the demons if possible. Try to get between them and Basil.
I think Basil, along with Chives, unless you want to roll, I'm just gonna expedite
I'm
this.
far enough away to run a volley. That was
Yeah.
the whole
Okay.
idea.
Go for it.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
And that's
Partial.
Partial success.
oh yeah, partial. Okay, here you go. All right, my character sheet was blocking it. I take what I can get.
Ooh.
Take
So
minus one to
minus
six.
minus
Good
a 1d6.
thinking.
So
All right. So
let me hit the damage.
plus a D4. Oh, that's okay.
You
They're
at
all
least
dead.
kill one.
Yeah, between you and Chives, you managed to kill them all. I think your focus is probably on the slightly bigger one,
Okay.
with your arrow, and I think Chives just does like a Mario like double stomp on the two smaller ones.
Nice.
There we go. Motherfuck.
All
That's
right.
perfect.
All right, then I rush over to Cacophony and attempt to heal her wounds,
Only
hoping
to
it's not too
find.
late.
Yeah, we will find out if it's too late on the other side of a very quick break. I desperately need to bio, and then we can
Yeah.
take like a
Oh!
a short second half of today's episode. So
Cliffhanger.
we'll be right
Double
back.
dead. All right.
We are back with Fable Table, Song of the Ravenlands. Our party has defeated a group of Rust Brothers, as well as the demons that they were trying to bind and enslave to their whims. But Cacophony suffered lethal blows here. I went ahead and rolled Last Breath for myself to be able to see them move. This is not Shannon's roll. So the trigger is when you're dying, you catch a glimpse of what lies beyond the black gates of Death's kingdom. So this occurs anytime a player character hits 0 HP. I think Alelo, a Raven sister, who you all have rescued, witnesses the fight but is too scared to participate given their current mental and emotional state, and even their physical state, having been enslaved for a week. But as soon as the fight ends, Alelo rushes in to assist as you all lick your wounds and assist. But Alelo says she's fading quickly. I will try and help her hold on. So what I'm going to do, Shannon, is give you +1 on last breath.
Thank you. And I hope I don't die forever. Fingers crossed. Right, where is it? Last breath. Okay.
Okay.
9 total.
That is a 9. Okay, so
Nothing that changes.
death will offer you a bargain. Take it and stabilize, or refuse and pass beyond the black gates into whatever fate awaits you. And I actually really love this wording because it says pass beyond the black gates. Like, what's beyond that? Or at least you could interpret it that way. So,
If she chose that, would you have to like GM a split campaign, and she has one in the afterlife, and we have one still in the Ravenlands?
I'm just
no, we would
running
not do
around
that.
Through fields of wildflowers, being dead and stuff, and y'all are like toiling on.
Yeah. So, oh boy.
Just yucking it up.
Yeah, what's this bargain?
I, in preparing for this game, usually the GM should think about who is death and what kinds of bargains do they offer. And I'll be honest, I have not prepared that. So let me think about that for a moment. I have a couple of options in my back pocket, and I just need to figure out which I think is best here.
I loot some Rust Brothers while you're thinking.
Yes, absolutely.
If you start looting, he'll have to look at his loot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
Never mind.
You gotta-
Never
you gotta let
mind.
him
My
go.
bad. Go ahead.
Not like we weren't all thinking the same thing, but
I forgot to ask you all how much longer you all want to run tonight. Brian, I know you had a very early
I
morning.
can run over.
Okay.
I can run over.
Okay.
Especially if we're gonna deal with Rust Brother loot, we're gonna deal with cacophony, cheating death. We're gonna deal with trying to get back home. Like narratively, it doesn't seem right to just stop here, because we've succeeded on our other roles except for this encounter. I hope
This is true. Okay.
If Nick, since I have done a tactic to buy time before, there's always the option of giving a vague promise for future content, but also saying we're going to deal with that in a flashback private to you and only you, cacophony.
Well, I know that you and I have talked about how, or you've mentioned how Raven is like the god of death. And like part of the, your character's arc is trying to return your brother's soulstone to Raven. Did you call it a soulstone? Is that the term? Oh, okay. I know exactly what it is. So let me find this music here. Okay. So you appear in a great void. You see beyond, in the distance, are the stars, and a sun and a moon, but there's no earth here. And you are just here alone, in the void. As you look around, eventually you turn, and there he is, the god Raven, in the shape of a large crow. But he is not the traditional black raven, depicted and spoken about, but he is that pale white version that child saw long ago in the hollows at the start of the Blood Mist. Now, ravens are not necessarily albino. There's another term for it when their feathers simply don't produce pigment. I'm trying to find the term. It is leucism. Leucism, something. Yeah. But there is just a white raven before you, and they are not even like standing like the way ravens can perch. He's kind of laying down, like kind of like how a cat kind of like tucks up and is sitting down. And I know you know what that looks like because you have a cat.
Yep.
And he just sits there staring at you, kind of blankly, almost like he's looking through you with those big open eyes. And do you say anything to him? Or do you let him speak first?
I think I would want to see if he spoke to me first, because, you know, like, what's going on in his head? Why is he why is he just sitting there, you know?
There is a long silence before he speaks. And he lets out a deep sigh. Not that I think crows can sigh, but he does. And he says, "I'm so sorry. You wanted to bring me your brother's stone and that of Eka. But you didn't quite make it, and even if you had, I'm so sorry."
Where are you? Where have you been? What is wrong?
There's so much wrong. And what I could do just never seemed to be enough. And now I can't do very much at all. Less than what I was. My siblings and I were able to create so much, but it all just fell to ruin. There was nothing we could do to stop it.
Can we help you? Can I help you? Is there anything that we can do?
My time has passed. I can do something for you. It's not much though.
Will you take my brother's soul stone and Eka and Mushla's soul stones and take them on into the great beyond with you?
I can. But as for you, I could take you, but I won't be able to take your siblings' stones unless you bring them to me in the world.
Well, tell us how to find you. Tell me how to help you.
My sister will guide you if you choose to continue. And I can make that happen. I can show you how to make that happen, but what it will cost you will be dear.
What will it cost me?
You will need to use your stone to anchor your life to your body. And your stone will then not be able to be given to me. I will not be able to use it.
Okay.
Very well. If you are sure. And he takes some time, like, coaching you through kind of this metaphysical, like, mental, state that you need to arrive at here in this void to kind of, like, use your stones, like, basically burn your own soul to anchor it to your body and not let go. And so you will not be able to pass beyond the pearly gates when your time does come. But eventually,
I don't think there's pearly gates for her in her future anyway, so it's
Mm,
probably better this way.
yeah. And as you are preparing to finish this act, Raven says, "I will see you soon, my child. Be safe out there."
We'll help you. We'll find you.
And the eye, you just kind of keep staring into his eye. He does not respond. And slowly you come back into consciousness, and you are staring into the eye of Alelo, who looks up to the rest of you and says, "All right, we've managed to bring her back. I think she's going to be okay." And you may set yourself to 1 HP.
Ugh. Nobody touch me.
Are you sure? I can try to heal your wounds.
I mean, yeah, for that, that'd be
Okay.
awesome.
I
Can
was
you
like,
fail and send her into last breath again?
No, if I
Jesus,
fail.
I don't even want to think about it.
No, I would not. That would be so cheap.
Ugh.
Right. Can I try to cast a spell to heal her of her wounds?
Of course.
I will end my magic weapon so that I lose my -1 modifier and try to cast a spell.
Okay.
My spell fails.
Damn.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
I will immediately, as my spell
That was
fails and goes for me,
sorry. That's
ahead, Nick.
cure wounds that failed.
cure wounds. Yes, cure wounds fails.
Wonderful.
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna keep writing down all the spells you fail.
And
Uh,
then
And
as
then
soon as that
I
fails,
bleed out.
I will pull from my pack a bunch of bandages and start bandaging both Basil and Cacophony up, and also Wick if he needs it.
Wick refuses your healing. But
Okay, fair enough.
while the bandaging process is going on, Wick is going to try to cast a spell as well. He has questions for Brooke or Rook. Fuck, keep mixing the name up.
Yeah.
And he has his one spell left.
Really quickly before you get to that,
Mhm.
Andy, you said you were searching for equipment among the remains.
Yeah, I'll limp my way around to look at what's there. See if there's not a suitable kind of like longer melee weapon to replace my now destroyed spear.
Yeah, so Moncala had a dagger, Spade had a short sword and a buckler, as well as a crossbow and several crossbow bolts. Rook had that massive diclave, which you just try and pick it up, and it is completely impractical for you to use this weapon. And Midnight had no weapons, but other than like weapons, here is what you find. Brother Midnight has his book that he was waving his hand over to cast a spell. It is called, on the title page, or the front cover, it is called The Book of Annealman. And he also has a pouch with 3 elven rubies in it. One of them is much larger than the other 2. Brother Rook had his massive diclave, as well as a note, which appeared to be orders. Brother Moncala had some coin, 2 coin,
Nice.
A vial of poison, and some notes that you don't quite understand, but when Cacophony get a chance to look at them, can tell that they are about poisons, but they are coded. And that is it.
Frog didn't have any secret. No, I'm kidding. I hope someone
Brother
was
Spade?
recording that loot.
I got you. Brother Spade?
Cool.
You
Sword,
might have said
buckler,
something-
crossbow.
And
Sorry.
crossbow bolts.
Mechanically, what is a buckler? Is it just a shield?
Yeah, it's just a shield.
Okay.
Smaller shield.
Here's a morbid idea. Since what's his butt, Rook is made out of like he has like a beetle body. Can we just use his body as a shield? Can we just like? Is
Oh
that
yes,
gross? I
carry
feel like that's
evidence
gross.
of our murder.
Yeah, Shannon,
It-
I want to remind you and Cacophony that you were
Never do that.
explicitly told not to do anything that would bring any retribution onto the Hollows.
Oh right.
Wick is gonna speak up now that Basil is done looting the cadavers like the material person he is. Point out the fact that this giant spider is still alive. What are we doing with this? What was the horse?
Oh yeah, the horse is tied up and it's not going anywhere. I think the spider would have.
Scuttled
Scurried
away.
off.
It probably would have scuttled off, but Brother Midnight definitely would have fallen off. So all of his
Okay.
gear was lootable.
You
Second-
said Goro had like a short sword or something like that.
Yeah.
Can I snag that?
Yeah, I'll put a sword on your sheet.
Thank you.
Merrick,
Like,
if you can hold
remove
the
the spear?
crossbow.
I will hold the crossbow, certainly.
Thank you. And bolts, assumably.
Yep, I will add them to my sheet.
The next order of business is I need to contact Rook Spirit, or
Yes.
see if I can. And then last order of business, we have to destroy this scene, people. We are going to be chopping off heads. We are going to be severing limbs. I'm going to get in somebody's rib cage and just throw organs everywhere. These guys do not get a proper burial, and we need to look like they were torn apart by the now dead bug dudes. Or the grubby guys. So, however creative we need to get for that. But first, can I cast a spell, Nick?
Yes, please.
I cast a
Oh.
All right. Well, there's level 3.
Okay, that was contacts. Can you link the spell for me really quick?
Yeah, that was contact spirits.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. So your magic
I'm
has
just shaking. Rook, no.
yeah. It's more than that though, because you are feeling magic like course through you. But it feels like as soon as it like reaches your fingers or like that moment where it's supposed to activate, just nothing happens. And there's no like feedback. You're not understanding what is happening. Like why
I think it's because I care too much about these people who betrayed me.
I mean, there's a very specific reason why it's not working, but
Yeah.
you have no idea.
It's because I care just way too much.
Okay. There you go.
The
All right.
trauma that comes from having your friends betray you and then you kill them. Like, there was still a small part of Wick who liked these guys, even after they did what they did. And now he's just like, oh, all right, well, okay.
Yeah.
And then he's going to get out contempt and just like dig through Rook's entire body, and just start throwing his bug organs all over the place. Yeah.
Nice.
What would you like for that one, Nick?
Nothing, please.
You sure?
Just
You don't
as a
want another dice?
reminder, he has Brother Rook, or I'm sorry, Brother Midnight had some orders on him.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we collect them. We get everything, but
Yeah, we collect all the light stuff.
Yes.
we dangle some entrails on Chive so he can naturally
All
run
right.
around.
We I believe one of our lines and or veils was body horror.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
this
there you
body
go.
horror?
Yep.
Well,
Oh. You
It's-
literally
It's
pulled
out
out
to be.
mutant monsters at us.
yeah,
It's a-
but you're
it's a-
digging
it's a big
inside,
bug.
so
Okay.
I'd
Yeah,
like to
that's-
move on.
We hand waved the gruesome scene.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm sorry.
We've totally hand waved it.
Hand waved
Yep.
it indeed.
For the Rust Brothers' benefit, that we are staging this as a not crime on our hands. How good is their forensic science? Like, if we were to remove some parts of this toad for analysis or something, maybe a Galler Hall in the near future, like we did with the
Mm-hmm.
Ralph's carapace, would they notice some, like, a frog eye that went missing?
Okay. So your question is, will other Rust Brothers be able to discern what happened here?
Well, you're saying we're staging it so that it doesn't look like this was our doing, that it looks like both groups killed each other. Demons killed Rust, Rust killed
Yeah.
Demons, so that we don't bring bad things down on the Hollows. So my question is, how good is the forensic science of the other Rust Brothers? Like, if we removed a bit of frog, will it lead them back to us?
Okay. Give me a spout lore on forensic science of the world.
Nice.
Perfect.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
So you know how Wick and Merrick can contact spirits?
Yes.
Yeah. Imagine what a Rust Brother can do. What information they could gather if they contact a spirit.
So should we just set them on fire so that
Yeah,
there's nothing to
probably.
contact?
Yeah,
Is that-
I think staging a crime is a mistake here. I think we just gotta burn it all.
So now we have to go and collect all the guts and viscera that Rick was like throwing around like fucking confetti.
There
We gotta
has to be a
set them
limit,
on
though,
fire.
right? There's always some kind of limitation. Like, okay, what if we just grind them? Okay, I'm not gonna get into specifics.
fire.
But we do the thing
burn
that
'em.
causes.
Let's burn them.
Merrick will reach
yeah.
into his pack and pull out a flask of oil as everybody goes and collects some kindling. And I think it's time to make a bonfire.
Yep.
Yep.
Can I mark down one adventure in gear because that brings me out of encumbrance?
Yes. Oh, there you go. That's great.
Nice.
How convenient.
I
Extremely
guess it was only
convenient.
Rook I got to anyway.
All right. You all get a raging fire going, and burn it all.
Burn it all.
Yeah.
Burn the copes
Do
down.
we try to collect something off the frog before we set everything on fire?
Yeah, I mean they're not gonna miss a
I'm,
frog
grab,
eye.
I'm,
right?
I'm grabbing a frog eye. May be useful.
I
Grab
chill.
one of those little tadpoles too.
No, I'm not fucking with those things. You can, but I'm
I'll throw it
just
in my
grabbing a
sack.
frog eye.
If we're,
Yeah,
if
okay.
we're heading back through Geller Hall or whatever, then I'll throw it in my sack for the beasties there.
I think we're going to the Hollows.
Are we going straight to the hollows?
Yeah.
I guess. Whatever.
I think
Could still
we
be
ignored
useful.
Galler
All right.
Hall.
Wick,
I had
you can. I'm just going to either hand wave either you or Alelo tries to contact one of these other Rust Brothers spirits after the burning, and you can be sure that their spirits have moved on. Like the desecration of their bodies has been enough.
Perfect. Now all they have is somebody set a grove on fire. Hopefully they don't find any evidence. Looking at all of the weapons we can't possibly... Well, maybe we could fit the giants... No, we don't want to keep any of the weapons, do we? We recognize at least the big Zweihander over here.
so I have
We have to
a couple
bury
things,
that.
if I can, Nick,
Yes.
because I've been trying to wait till everybody had their turn. First of all, the horse is still there. Is there
Yes.
anything on the horse?
Not really.
There are 3 rations.
Okay.
No, 4 rations and 2 dungeoneering equipment.
Right.
If anyone wants
Does-
it. I know
does
that
the
would
horse-
encumber you, Brian.
Right. Does the horse try to bite us as we come up near it, or is it just indifferent?
Nope, it's indifferent.
You want to load the big So I hand her sword on the horse.
It'd just be proof that we killed them. So no.
Mm.
I
Then I
can't
think-
wield it. It's bit like
Right.
3 times my mass.
So what are we doing with it?
Burial. We take it somewhere a little bit away and throw it or dig it into a trench. I don't know.
Sure.
Bury the other weapons and let the horse go.
I
Not before
pull out the
taking.
shovels.
Before we do that, I would like to cast my last spell if possible, which
Yes.
is Detect Magic. To see if there is anything magical in this area or among their equipment or among anything that is left of the Rust Brothers before we move away from here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
And I have this due to the fact that I am a human, so I have one wizard spell that is potential for me to prepare,
Nice.
and that is Detect Magic, which is why I have it. It's normally a wizard spell. Right?
Okay.
Casting it now.
Nice.
Successfully goes off.
Wow, you managed to cast a spell, y'all. Well done.
I have. I think Merrick
Two spells.
will look around the area and you will see his eyes blink like up and down, and then suddenly you see like the inner eyes like blink side to side and turn into vertical slits with little shades of green, and I will look through them for anything that like pings off as blue to me as I get snake eyes looking for magical signatures in the area.
All right. Make me that spell.
Just closed my sheet. There we go.
One of your senses is briefly attuned to magic. The GM will tell you what here is magical. Okay, so basically none of their equipment is magical except for the book that Brother Midnight had. There is like a faint glow of magical nature coming from the mama demon, but it's fading quickly because she's dead. A Lalo is pinging as magical in nature. All of the any magical equipment. So like, if Wick still has his sword. Oh no, Wick is pinging as magical, like his whole body.
I'm super
Okay.
magic, baby.
And then there is a distinct. This isn't even vision. I know you described the sense as vision. There is something about cacophony that just feels like it's missing.
Oh.
You cannot identify it with vision, but you just have a sixth sense about this.
Is Chives magical? He has to be magical.
Oh yeah,
right?
fuck yeah. Chives is just like you can't look at him. He's so bright.
Like glowing like the sun.
All right.
All right.
All right.
And we hightail it
a-
out of there.
As a point of order, so that we have stuff on our sheet so we don't forget it.
Right.
The Book of Annealman, does it have a weight, or is it just enough that I can carry it along with me?
No, it's free.
All right, sounds good. We have a pouch of 3 elven rubies. Who's taking that on?
Oh, those are magical. Sorry, those are definitely
I
magical.
would
That's
take
fine.
them actually connected to elves of the Hollows, or at least one, and I would guard them with my life if Basil wants me to.
Wonderful.
I was just gonna say, recently discovered that I'm half elf, so
Oh.
I can also take
Oh.
those two.
Maybe that's something that we can finally bond over.
Here we go.
All right, so I'm taking the book. Wick is
Take
taking the rubies. You'll take-
Poison.
Yeah, I'll take the
Yeah.
rubies for now.
Okay.
The poison in the notes and stuff.
Okay. And then there's 2 coin. I'll add the 2 coin for me because I have some already. And then, last but not least, I think we're leaving the 2-handed sword, burying it a little bit away, burying the buckler because nobody can carry it.
Yeah.
And then, what about these orders, Nick? What do they say?
Yes. So you read. Who is reading over these? Like, are you all reading over them together, or is one person just taking a look at it first?
If they're like ciphered, I may know them.
They're not ciphered.
Then it's probably whoever grabbed them first, right? Which would be
Then-
Basil and then
Yep.
Merrick.
Okay.
I think Basil reads them first then.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he, I don't want to say your character reads them. If you choose, they're all yours. Go for it.
Yeah. So
I
Basil
would read them over.
is Basil literate?
Sure. Oh wait, that's
The
a
goats taught him,
decent
right?
question. He was raised by goats. In a limited sense. He's got
Okay.
rudimentary reading skills.
Okay. Then you decide what you make of this. Okay. So this is signed by Iron Brother Bishop. As a reminder, there's a difference between Rust Brothers and Iron Brothers. Iron Brothers are like the military arm of the Church of Rust.
Mm-hmm.
So there is like a superiority there. I'll just kind of outline the 4 points that it makes. The first point is so this is addressed to Rust Brother Midnight. First, a reminder to take precautions when checking for traps. A precaution to check for traps when exploring dwarven tunnels. And to make sure to check artifacts for curses, particularly heirlooms related to the Moss family. From personal experience, I and the now deceased brother Willow can assure you of their efficacy and cruelness. That being the Moss family. All members of Brother Willow's party are being reassigned following Brother Willow's death. Hence, Brother Rook's assignment to your party. John, if Wick learns of this, Brother Willow was the person who deceived you.
I am stunned,
Okay.
horrified.
The letter goes on. New intel reveals that the Raven sisters will arrive at Galler Hall in the next month. Your orders are to patrol the lands surrounding Galler Hall. Continue efforts to recruit undead and demons to occupy the land. And finally, Brother Balsa's party has orders to continue the arcane recovery campaign and locate a war mausoleum in the Shroud. If your patrol intersects with his on their return to Whaler's Hold, turn over all magical artifacts to them and continue your patrol, or assist them in returning if requested.
Could you please read the last point again? As I'm trying to take quick notes.
Yes. Brother Balsa's party, who you've never heard of before, has orders to continue the arcane recovery campaign and locate a war mausoleum in the Shroud, which is where you all just came from. If your patrol intersects with his party on their return to Whaler's Hold, turn over all magical artifacts to them and continue your patrol, or if they need help getting back, offer that help.
Okay.
It seems
Right.
like Brother
We-
Balsa's got some serious loot.
Yeah, you would assume that Brother Balsa and his party are the ones who ransacked the mausoleum and kicked the whiners out.
Yeah.
Well, unless we spot him, it's kind of a non-option at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you died. What was that like?
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I saw. Well,
If this whole
I
campaign
saw-
is an analogy for dealing with the pandemic, that right there was the deepest cut. Ugh. Fuck.
just
I'm gonna tell you what the spike does now that you seem so apathetic to
I
life.
want to fucking know.
You put it in a corpse, and you can't bring that corpse back to life by any means.
Well, why didn't you just say so? Why can't
I
we just-
tried, but you seem to hate me so much that my words can't
much?
break through your bones.
so much? Oh man.
That's
Okay,
okay.
well,
Okay.
then that's good to know. None of the maybe we should make a habit of just stabbing our
It's
the
a one.
demons
kind of
and
thing.
huh?
It's not a. It's a one-use kind of dealio here.
You only get one?
That's why I stopped you from using it. Yes, on a living person, which would have done nothing. But now that you have seen the afterlife, maybe you'll start listening to your team.
No, that doesn't seem like me.
Well,
No, so I saw and spoke to Raven, and he truly seems depressed. Raven is depressed. My god is depressed. I don't know what to do with that information.
maybe it was like a internal, like mirror of your own body and mind state.
Possibly. Possibly, but he seemed to be without hope, and he was like drowning in apathy, just completely apathetic. Like,
Wow,
couldn't help us, or
pretty
didn't want to
familiar.
help us, or felt like even if he did help us, what would it solve? So
Well, are you sure? You just weren't looking at like a reflection, or
I will kill you. I will kill you, Wick.
not with your
You will
hit points?
die at
And
my
we
hands.
go on our way.
All right. So
Yeah.
you all continue on your journey, very cautiously keeping an eye out for other Rust Brother patrols. I think you do see evidence of other demons being around, and I think from far away you see like bunches of undead, like droves, just walking around, patrolling. But there are no more encounters, at least none noteworthy, and you arrive safely back at the Hollows, which is, I think, where we will pick up next time with your reward, with checking in with Rick Moss, the family father, and anyone else you want to at the Hollows. There is going to be some downtime, like a week or two, which means that you all will either get the option to work on a project or do something that really interests you and takes time, or you can use the bolster move, which is spend a week or two in prep to gain +1 forward when that prep pays off. So
What if, sorry.
so think
Continue,
about
please.
what that might be in the next week before we come back next week. And then finally, I want everyone to take 2 XP for this really long, difficult battle. We both learned something new and important about the world, and fought a notable monster and enemy, and looted notable treasure. I know that this was not in and of itself, a story, but I think it was a big deal.
Nice.
Our first encounter with the Rust Brothers, and we came out victorious.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, but it was very close.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So these are Rust Brothers. There are Iron Brothers out there who are even more well equipped and nasty.
So who else hit level 3?
I did.
Okay. Just checking.
All right, we've finished the first arc. All of our characters are level 3. Wow, nice.
Nice.
Perfect.
Cool.
That's a lot of failure.
Yes, it is.
There's a
Oh,
lot of
shit.
failed rolls tonight.
So
Oh
many
my
5
god.
score
A lot
rolls.
of learning from mistakes is what that is.
Oh.
It's
All
also
right.
a lot of ones on a d6.
Yeah. Okay.
rough.
So,
Okay.
that's it for tonight. Any shout outs before we go, everyone? Final words? Okay.
No.
Check John out at twitch.tv/John Dungeon Master. He streams every day, 365, 24/7.
Apparently. Yeah.
Dude never takes a break. Thank you to everyone who subscribed earlier or bought subscriptions. We thank you really, really much for your support. If $5 or your Amazon Prime subscription is too much for you, we have a Patreon in the links below. Even if you can just donate $1, it really helps us. We really appreciate all the love and support. The videos will be on YouTube if you want to rewatch, and we'll see you next week. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Night.
Bye-bye. Bye.